Awesome me.
Howdy ho, welcome to Tool Talk Live Sunday night. You just missed the wife threatening to kill me.
I don't think they missed it. I think they're seeing it.
No, they missed it. I wasn't actually recording.
Okay. Nice.
Sorry,
Better luck next time.
She was bent over behind me moving some stuff. I'm like, I'm super recording this. Yep. Anyway, let's say hi to everyone. Javier's in the house. Donald Ross says, meep.
Hello.
Di's in the house. Jason Blair, Oscar, Frank, Ion, Charles McBride, Eric, Blind Toolman is here. From Nebraska, no less. How are you all doing tonight? Sorry, you were going to say something
Blind Toolman is here. Hey, I was just telling my mother about your channel like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's right. I was like, why would you tell her about a channel?
Because she might like to tune in and watch it with her non-vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, how's everyone's Sunday going tonight? I guess this weekend, actually. It's been a busy, eventful week for us. I'm struggling back from my back injury, so I'm probably at about 50% mobility.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go like super high, and I'm like, okay, so he's lying to himself and all of our friends. No, it's been bad this week, but you're getting better.
Yeah. Donna was like, wait, is it cold in there? I'd say it's in the 50s here right now. It's been overcast, blustery, and rainy all day, which brings the temperature down, and someone is a little temperature sensitive. Right.
I can hear our children.
I can too. We got the Jeep. If you remember, we were talking about it several weeks ago, actually months ago, that some friends of ours donated a Jeep to us, knowing that we needed a second four-wheel drive vehicle for up here. And so it's parked outside. Still needs lots of work and such, but the Cubs are out there playing. I don't know what they're playing, but they're having a great time with it.
Well, I think Griffin's doing some videos where he's the police officer and also the person being pulled over. So he's been doing
Is he arresting himself?
Yes.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Anyway, lots of people showing up. Casey Ron, Dr. Who, Paul Richard. Let's see here. Who else we got here?
Groove Jet. Hello.
Groove Jet's in the house.
Walk.
Bad Idea Workbench. Hey, everyone, don't forget, if you want us to read your comments, we do try to read as many comments as we can. In fact, over the course of the evening, I will promise to read any comment that is addressed to us as we're put at the Den of Tools. It shows up just like that in our feed as a big orange blurb. That allows us to know you're talking to us, not just amongst yourselves. And there's a lot of chat that goes on. We get behind. Please don't repeat yourself. I will get to it. Mrs. appears to have grabbed a bull by the horns. She put those on saying that they were appropriate for her mood today. I would say this week. So
I'm a little grumpy.
Javier with the super chat, a brief history on Ace, the not so helpful place to video. You know, that actually is an excellent idea, Javier. I've been wanting to do some more history videos. I couldn't really find anything I really wanted to sink my teeth into right now, but Ace is an excellent choice. I think that I'm going to write that down. We're going to do that. Did you want to do your little thing?
I do. Thank you so much, Javier. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much.
Frank Landgraf says, I have missed you. Frank, not in front of the wife, you know.
I have missed everybody too. Like we did not do any of the morning show last week.
Yes.
Because
mornings have been bad for me.
Yeah.
It takes a while for me to get moving. I usually have to stumble out, sit in my my recliner with the heating pad on for an hour or so to warm things up, to get things to the point where I can do stuff throughout the day. Luckily, I've had the Cubs to help me out with a bunch of stuff, so we've still been getting some. Just twinged myself there, and So anyway, luckily I had the Cubs to help me out with some projects, so we're still getting stuff done around the old homestead. We pulled up an old wood walkway down one side of the house, chopped that up into little pieces, got loaded in the truck. Got a bunch of free lumber today. That was pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, little ones.
Hi.
Paul's Tool Review said, awesome grill find and fix, by the way.
Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun getting that fixed and teaching the Cubs how to do that kind of stuff. And also, $10 plus the part, $19 for a really nice grill like that. You can't go wrong. It always makes me happy. Ian says, happy you're getting better. I've had to go to the chiropractor a few days ago. Nice to have feeling back in my toes. I can only imagine. Michael's in the house. Hey, kids. You've been missed. Feeling better or burping up peanut butter? Oh.
How does he know?
From last week's.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I had a peanut butter sandwich about
Peanut
half
butter
an hour.
and
Apricot?
Apricot jelly. Or jam. Anyway.
Preserves, but who's
it's
being...
not bad. I have to say, I think that is, it wasn't bad, but it's definitely I'm talking about the peanut butter. If you guys didn't know, last week we sampled some peanut butter whiskey on the channel during the live stream. Mm-hmm. Quite a bit of it, as a matter of fact. And it wasn't bad, but it's not the thing I would drink regularly.
No, but it was fun.
Yeah, I could see it, but I could definitely see it making a hard peanut butter and chocolate milkshake.
Yeah.
Or making or cooking with it as a dessert kind of thing for baking or something. I can definitely see doing that. Doing liquor-filled peanut butter cups. It could be fun for stuff like that. Just straight up drinking, probably not my cup of tea. Dr. Who says, I snagged the Milwaukee M18 fuel Sawzall with 6 amp hour and 8 amp hour battery and rapid charger for $300. Was that a good deal? Well, if you consider how much just that 8 amp hour battery goes for, it sounds like you pretty much got the Sawzall for free and paid for the batteries and the charger. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Charles says, our friends donated a Jeep. My neighbors call the police if I park my van in front of their house.
Okay.
Hold on.
Labberhound is losing.
Go lay down, Bella. Go on.
You're a good girl.
She's got some pretty nasty allergies this year, and it's driving her a little crazy. She's trying to chew her own tail off. Anyway, yeah, we live in a really nice community up here. And on top of that, we kind of live on it's not exactly a private drive. It's not exactly I guess it's kind of a alley drive thing. Anyway, everyone around here, if you live in this area, we all know each other. We're all really close. So I don't know if the police could find our place if they called them.
Yeah.
The
and I'm
newspaper
okay with
delivery
that.
guy could barely do it after 3 calls.
Yep.
Brett says, "Hey Bears family, hope you're having a great and blessed day." Thank you very much, Brett. We appreciate that. Hope you are as well. Adam says his shop vac took a dump today. Lucked out, got a Rigid on sale still. Thanks to the video last week. Awesome. Glad you could.
Javier again says, you got the email I sent earlier about the U.S. General tool cart. Perfect example about why I can't go to Harbor Freight alone.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Bing, ding, ding, bing, 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 bing. That's why I can't have bells.
The Ian says, I got a 3D printer for Father's Day. Going to print some Dena Tool stuff. That is awesome. I love 3D printers. At one point I had 3 of them. I'm down to 1. Unfortunately, it's buried in the back of our storage unit right now. And I was trying to get to it before we left, and I just could not. There was a big couch on top of some other stuff in the way, and I just couldn't get to it. Steve says, are you going to review the No Cry at some point? All the best. Feel better, brother. I think I am. I'm going to start doing a series on inexpensive Amazon tools, like all these off-brand power tool things that we see. This one, I feel bad. This company sent me a drill, probably like a year ago at this point, called the Hoe Life. I know, right? And
sure, it's a company.
Like any one of these other generic 20-volt power tools off of Amazon, and it is. There's nothing fabulous about it, but at the end of the day, it's really not all that bad either. I don't know if I could recommend somebody buying one because there's not like a whole line of other tools to go with it, and you don't know what, support or anything is going to be like. But that said, the quality of the build isn't terrible. Joe Smith and friends in the house. How's it going, man? Hey, by the way, if you haven't, you need to subscribe. Go check out Joe Smith's channel. He does every Friday. He does Joe Smith After Dark, where he does an interview with a YouTuber, usually in the tool community. And this last weekend, he did Junk from Work, and it was a great interview. You gotta go check it out. Wohawk says, grumpy is not the mood horns make me think of. Just saying. Oh, no.
Yep.
No, with her it is. Because she'll gore you with them. Michael says, I just found out about the Harbor Freight coupon app in the Platt store. It really saved me some money yesterday.
Yay!
I still don't use that app. I just pull up Harbor Freight coupon database on my phone. Maybe I should check out the app. Robert says, hey, Bears, finally replaced my old grill last week as well. Awesome. What'd you get?
Cool. Yeah. Oh, actually, I think
Or did he tell us?
I think he did. Remember, I think he...
Oh, yeah.
Yep. We got an email from you.
Was that the pellet one?
Yes.
Paul's Tool Review says, whatever happened to the True Hardware affiliate hardware stores that were everywhere decades ago? I remember seeing them disappear when Home Depot took her. I think you're talking about True Value Hardware? They're still around. We have one in town, don't we? Isn't there one over next to Pizza Hut?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
You're right, though. They're not as many as I remember seeing, but they're definitely around. Wohawk says, need more whiskey. I could go for some. I was actually just sitting here about half an hour before the show going, I should run down to the liquor store. And then remembered I'm in a state liquor store state, so that's not happening on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. Freaking blue laws.
Yep. Not happening.
Steven says, how much bigger is that grill than the Charbroil 2-burner one you reviewed a while back? We have the exact 2-burner grill. It's...
Not the one that we...
No, the one we have back in
Vegas.
That one's about that big. I would say it's almost twice as big. Plus, it's got the side burner, so you can have like a pot of water or for corn or something like that going on the side. It's significantly bigger, and cheaper as well.
Mm-hmm. Can't beat that price.
And Brett says, my sciatica flared up this past week. I would give up a kidney to never experience this again. I don't know what sciatic pain is. Mine is a herniated disc is technically what it's called. And it's just, taking it easy, applying heat. This is about the worst it's ever been. I'm going on 2 weeks at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 weeks at this point. And I'm just getting...
You mean your back pain?
Yeah.
It's like just over a week.
It
feels like it's longer.
It feels like it's way longer.
Because we were... Yeah, you had just done
you're right.
Last week.
Yeah.
So it's a week.
Wow.
It really does feel like it's been much longer.
It's been so bad.
Yeah.
Like every night is going to sleep I can't go to sleep because I can't get comfortable and I don't fall asleep until I'm just so exhausted I can't stay awake. Mm-hmm. Michael says, can you take some good news? Got pitched a new job, better than being unemployed. Had the drug test Friday. Studied the night before. I was just going to say as soon as you said that. That is awesome, man. So if all goes well, I will no longer be a social parasite for much longer. Michael, I got to say this. You pay in to the social system. Some states you actually pay directly out of your paycheck. Other states, it comes out of your taxes. You are not a social parasite when you're on unemployment because you're paying into it. So,
but I think we both totally understand that feeling.
The first time I had to take unemployment, I was an emotional wreck that I was having to do that. Like, I can't believe I have to do this. I have to rely on the state. And then I found out how it all works. I'm like, still.
Then you get to relive that when the first time I went on it.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever been on it.
Tim says, what do you think of the Drill Master 6-inch compact palm polisher? Never used it. I know nothing about it. Why do people always manage to find like the tools that I've never even thought about using? So, getting the big bell out, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody has used it, you want to chime in and let Tim know. Also, if you type in @TimJohnson and your response, it'll show up as a orange blurb for him, and he'll know you're talking directly to him.
Yep.
Let's see. Go on. Do your thing.
Francisco Estrada, keep up the good work, guys. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. It's going to be loud. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. There's not as many bing bings.
Wohawk says, Kiddick Stadium was vandalized last night. Stupid protesters. You're joking, right?
That's awful.
What? Yeah, that's not protesting. That's just people using an excuse to get out of hand. Should be. Anyway. Princess Jamie says, hello all, just got back after a 200-mile round trip to the wheeling site. Drove the CJ instead of trailer it for the first time to go rock crawling. That's awesome.
That's kind of bold too, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say this. Long distance driving in a CJ is a exercise, routine in and of itself. They're not meant for, highway travel. Eric says, I'm hoping to get the call this week for the delivery of the Icon Toolbox. The manager says they're at the store in the back. That's awesome. Make sure, though, you do sit on top of the guys when they're delivering it because, everything that they're supposed to do, some guys don't get the communication correctly. That's a problem when you're dealing with third-party delivery sites and stuff like that. Just a second, I have a...
child is a goober.
What is your deal?
Bella, ow.
Okay, no. Go sit down.
Bella said hi.
No, Bella has not said hi.
She said.
Does she need to? Is she right there?
She's right there.
You want to say hi?
She's on
Come over here.
Hang on.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
Hi.
Whoa.
Come on. Oh,
Whoa.
God. Hi. Yes, I love you, too. You're a very good hound. You're a very good hound. Yes,
She's
you
like,
are.
Dad, do you have snacks
Look
up here?
at you.
What's
Is
going
that
on?
you? Is that you on the TV? Is it? Yeah. Oh, she's a good hound. There you go. Okay, you've had your time. Oh, my gosh.
Can I come back
I
now?
think she's getting bigger.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Chris says I went to the local Harbor Freight Saturday store was about 80% empty. 80%.
Wow.
What is going on? 80%? Are you sure 80%? That's a bit much. Di says topics for tonight. They are taking away Elmer Fudd's gun and replacing it with a scythe. I don't know what to make of that.
I don't either.
Although I liked the meme you read to me today that the schedule for the rest of the year got leaked.
Yep. It was like, I'll have to find it. Because it's only funny when you actually read it.
Charles says, with the new Bremen line of Harbor Freight clamps, are there any plans for Bessie-style parallel clamps? I sure hope there are. I have not heard anything. I got to be honest, my contact over at Harbor Freight has been few and far between in the past, or for this year, for the most part. They are really heads down with trying to get work done. Plus, they're having to do a lot of it from home. So there's just not a lot of information coming out right now. Steve from San Mateo, how you doing, man? Tyler says, if you had to pick a tool brand between Pittsburgh and Husky, what would you pick and why? I don't do that, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to evade the question, but I don't pick a brand. I pick the tool that's the right tool for the job I'm going to do. In some cases, it's Husky. In some cases, it's Pittsburgh. Like the new Husky, the toolbox, the 9-drawer, that, when there was a big deal about 3 years ago that, the Yukon came out and it was slightly better and had better construction. It was a better deal for around the same price, if not a little bit less. In which case, yeah, totally get the Yukon. I have one of the Yukons. It's a great box. But like if I was planning to buy one of the 9-drawer ones right now, I would buy the Husky. It's got as good, if not better, construction. It's got the power strip on the side, and it's significantly bigger because they changed the depth to like 24.5 inches. So it's got a lot more storage in it than the Yukon that's at the same price. As far as the tools, like if I need an individual tool, like an individual socket or something like that, I know I can go and pick up a Husky as a replacement. And with the Harbor Freight stuff, you can't buy individuals. So it's, I'm not brand loyal on that kind of thing.
So the calendar for 2020.
Okay.
January is Australia fires. February is locusts in Africa. March, April, and May is pandemic. June, there's protests and riots. July, there's solar flare. August, there's Yellowstone eruption, which we'll be close to. September's alien
We
invasion.
should live stream that.
Yes, alien invasion. October and November, it's pandemic again. And then December is asteroid.
Asteroids.
So, and I'm not sure who originally put this, but it was a meme on Facebook, and it was very funny. As somebody else says, funny, not funny.
Yeah. Just misses, y'all remember Coast to Coast hardware stores, or that was just an Iowa thing? No, it wasn't. It wasn't just an Iowa thing. There was a Coast to Coast. They got bought by, who was it? I can't remember who bought them. Because there was one. I don't remember. I do remember they got bought by somebody, but I have seen them before. Outside Iowa. I'm pretty sure.
You think?
I thought there was one in Gustine.
What is it?
Coast to Coast Hardware.
No.
Really?
Pretty
Gustine?
sure not. This is the part where I find out that I'm wrong. Yet again. Shaka, hello. $2 super chat. Ryobi is trash, except for extremely light do-it-yourself use. Yes, Shaka. It's going to be loud. 3, 2, 1. Nobody likes you and the finding of stuff in Gustine.
Coast to Coast Hardware, Gustine, California.
I have my
Oh.
ears.
What are you doing? So
Mike,
it just...
drop.
Shush. So it's hard to see, like, if you're looking at her straight on, but her ears are actually glowing. Where's Rye? Rye would think that's super cool. Ellie Bell. So I hope...
You want to wear them for the rest of the stream?
No, I'm good. Thank
I
you.
think Rye Nirvana. I don't know where you are. I don't think you're here tonight.
She just asked if I wanted to wear them for the rest of the stream. I said
That was
yes.
really generous to share with
It
you.
was. It was.
We try to encourage that sharing.
Brett says True Value stores are still around. Have them here. In Tulsa, Oklahoma. Michael wants to know if you're a Houston Texan fan now.
No. John says, have you thought about doing more Hart tool reviews? I've heard some good reviews on them. Just a homeowner here doing stuff because my husband likes to move it while
You're
I'm reading
supposed to
it.
be reading off your phone or
Well,
something.
I'm obviously not.
Obviously.
Homeowner here doing things around the house.
All right, hold on.
So
Go read some comments because I'm going to have to apparently set this up so that you can...
Whoa. Just read something to you, which is he's asking if you're planning to do more Hart tool reviews.
Actually I am. I am planning to do some more. I'm trying to figure out whether I should do power tools or hand tools. I kind of feel like there are a lot of people have been testing out the power tools. I did a couple of the outdoor stuff. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see me test like the drill and the impact, or do you want me to just wait for something else? What do you want to see tested?
Robert says, got the Cuisinart Wood Creek pellet grill because it has a tray for regular charcoal as well. I think we actually had a discussion about that.
Because I was like, I didn't know that Cuisinart made grills. That kind of blew me away.
Making stuff and breaking stuff with Al says, hey guys, good to see you. I survived all the riots here in Minnesota. Well,
Congratulations.
that's good.
Did you get a patch or something? Or
there's going to be one. Actually,
actually.
there probably is.
Well, actually.
Chillaxily. My first Sunday night tool talk. I finally made it. Hey, Rodney. Awesome. Insulum says, hello there. Sorry to hear that you are in pain. That really sucks. It does.
It does kind of
Javier
suck.
said, ever thought of buying a stick burner grill? What is a stick burner grill?
Stick burner. Is that like one of those turbo grills? Turbojet things? What are they called? The one with the little L-shaped chimney thing? More like a check mark shape, I guess.
I always think of those as smokers.
No.
What do I know? This is not my area of expertise right here.
All right.
Hang on, I'm talking. Frank said, had my surgery Wednesday and I still am tired. Super glad that you had your surgery. I think that I got an email from you. What are you doing?
Nothing. Not planning to shoot you after that one.
This is why people in our family are paranoid, because all of a sudden we'll be talking, all of a sudden some red dot will be like on our forehead or...
I was checking her temperature. It was a thermometer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Likely story. Adam Wonder Shield? No, there's no L. Wonder Shide? I am really bad that I'm butchering your name.
Stick with
I'm
Adam.
super sorry. Adam, $5 super chat, says no bell necessary, just supporting the channel. So what happens
Thank you so much.
is then I go like this.
And she suffers because she can't press the bell.
Nope, you can't either. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat and for the support and for just being here, because that is the biggest.
And from saving us
Okay,
from the bell.
I'm moving you up to live chat.
No, okay,
Yes.
well, hang on.
Yes, I am.
Hey, Terry did a super chat of $2. Hello, how are
Terry,
you
how's
all
it going?
doing?
We're doing good. Well, better than some, but go on.
Bing, da, ding, bing, bing, bing.
Definitely doing better than I was doing last week. That's for sure.
And Eric, holy cheese and crackers. He did a $24.99 super chat. Your advice saved me $3,300 on the Icon Toolbox, sharing the wealth.
Wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you got to save some money on that.
Yeah, I know we were looking at the prices last time. So I am super glad that you were able to get in on that. I'm going to do... I was thinking about doing double bells, but I'm not sure how to do that. So thank you so much. It's going to be loud. 3, 2, 1. Bing, ding, ding, bing, 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 ding, 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 bing. Barbecue 76 hasn't yelled at me yet. Anyways.
All right. So you're on live chat now, and I'm going back to make sure we catch up on stuff.
Okay.
Let's see here.
You're
We
just
talked to
after Frank, so you're at Tyler.
Tyler. Pittsburgh brand ratchets or in sockets or Husky, and why? I'm gonna man, I'm gonna say neither. If I had to choose, if there was like a gun going, which one did you choose? I would choose Pittsburgh. I do not care for the Husky style ratchets. That said, if I had my druthers, I'm gonna get Tecton. And honestly, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, and people are gonna make fun of me, I really like the old ones from AutoZone. Now, AutoZone changed their supplier, so they're no longer the same quality that they used to be. They cheaped out on those to make them even cheaper. They weren't the best quality, but I really liked the way they felt in the hand. But for everyday use, Tecton is the ratchet that I use when I'm not using my SK ratchets. So, the Fred says, what do you think of the Bauer 4-tool 7-piece combo kit is in the latest Harbor Freight catalog? Yeah, that actually seems like a pretty decent deal. I was actually thinking about doing a video about that later this week. It's a nice, I like seeing them do those kind of combos because I know a lot of guys like to see that kind of savings kind of packaged together for them. So anyway, the Asylum says, I was unemployed a year ago. And you just laughed at Asylum being unemployed?
No, Barbecue
That's
76
terrible.
is yelling at me already.
Asylum says, I was unemployed a year ago, and it was really stressful and crappy time in my life. Even though I'm on my second job since then, I'm still debating altering my career path again. Well, dude, I have altered my career path so many times. I mean, as somebody who started out, I worked in food services. I did construction. I ran cabling. I got into, more deep into IT. I've worked, retail and stuff at night. I've bartended. I've done so many different things. It's just go with what makes you happy and makes you money. If you can have the lifestyle you want and be happy doing it, I say go for it.
Barbecue 76 with the $10.76 super chat. I want to see barbecue stuff tested. And damn, what is a stick burner? Seriously, you both need help. We do. We need barbecue help. You need to come here and barbecue something. I can show you the light. Oh, by the way, I'm yelling now. And then he also did a $2.76 no bell. So
Wait, do we get to do bell for the first one? And
I'm going to be respectful and not do the bell for either of them because his wife really does not like them. Whoa, super bright light.
Oh my gosh.
In my face. That thing looks like something from Star Wars.
What the hell is a stick burner grill? Oh, it's just one you just cook with wood. So wood is what you're saying.
Apparently not. Apparently you're just saying sticks.
They're just trying to make it overly complicated is what they're doing. Did we get Chaka's super chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was when you were looking for something and not paying attention to me.
So, but Chaka, did you see my Ryobi video? See? I gave you the counterpoint position for the discussion.
Scorpion Sunday said has had 3 careers: chef, chiropractor, and now an electrician. That's
Wow.
super cool.
Woofy says, "Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Bear. I won't make any comments on the horns. LOL. Hi, Labradog 2, of course." Labradog says hi.
No.
Princess Jamie says, "I trust my mechanical skills and judgment." Yeah, I've trusted them too. Ended up sideways in a ditch.
My thought had nothing to do with your mechanical skills or judgment. It had to do with dingbats making poor choices.
Yeah. Well, Huck says, "No joke, the home of the Hawkeyes was violated." I was going to say it should be a capital offense if you ask me. For those of you who don't know, I consider myself... I wasn't born in Iowa, but I kind of grew up in Iowa. I moved around a lot, but if there's any one place that I think of, both my sides of my family are from Iowa, so I consider myself from Iowa. All my, young fundamental memories and such are from Iowa. Asylum says the dog is so adorable. Sadly, she's well aware of quite exactly how adorable she is.
I'm going to let you read that one because he's yelling at you now. Not me.
Barbecue 76 is $2. What the hell is a stick burner? Seriously? Dude, you could have just called it a wood burning smoker. Because that's what it is.
Okay.
All right? A wood burning grill. It's a stick burner. Do you know what a turbo... what do you call it? Is it a turbo grill or a turbo oven kind of thing where it uses the draft concept to create jet? I think I call it a jet stove. That's what they call it. That's what I thought you guys were calling it because you feed sticks literally into it. Okay.
I still have no idea what you're talking about. I am going to do the bell because you didn't say no bell in that one. So barbecue 76. Everyone else cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Terry says, back to work, part-time, 24 hours a week in 1 month, full-time.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations. And thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We super appreciate it. So 3, 2, 1. Is the bell making you excited?
It makes her look crazy.
Ding, 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 ding. Do you need to go outside? Is that? I think that's what that excitement is. That, or she thinks that she's gonna have
by
like
the way,
second
everyone,
C's
remember
for
to type
dinner.
in @DennaTools if you want me to read your comment.
Oh my goodness.
Or I guess super chat works too,
Okay.
but or be a completely spazzed Labradog. Wolfie says, "Awoo, Labradoggo." Brett says, I totally feel the unemployment parasite comment. I was injured in a motorcycle accident about 3 years ago. I was a quality engineer at a local aircraft repair shop. It sucks. It does. It really does. And especially for a lot of us who have a lot of our personality or our personal image, our identity, if you will, wrapped up in our ability to provide for our family and whatnot. It can be very disheartening. Let's see here. Brian asks, would you rather have the new Cobalt XTR line or the Hercules? Right now, I'd say the XTR line because there's a lot more tools out there for it. I have some of the Cobalt stuff. I really like it. I like one thing I don't like about the Cobalt stuff. At least I'm not talking about the XTR because I've not gotten hands on with it. But the other Cobalt stuff, the only real negative I have with it is that it's really big, and as such, getting the smaller compact kind of stuff is a lot easier to work with. And the Hercules stuff, I use it quite often. It's very compact. One of my favorite impacts that I use right now, impact drivers that is I have a compact brushless Makita that I absolutely love. So it's, I like the smaller tools. I like to be able to get into places, get different angles on things. But the XTR line looks fabulous, and I really do enjoy the Cobalt. So I don't think you can go wrong with it. What's it got, a 5-year? If it has the same warranty as it had before, 5-year warranty, decent price on batteries, bigger line of tools. Right now, somebody said, which one should I get into? I would say go with the Cobalt. I sure hope Harbor Freight gets their act together and ramps up the Hercules stuff. I've seen pictures of all of it. It looks, what is your deal? Come here. Come here. Oh, someone give her some scratches. Her back itches a lot. She's over there rolling around on her back trying to itch herself crazy.
No, she's trying to
Or you could take her outside and give her some brushings. Nope. The Jay says, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Bear. Miss you guys in the morning show. Jay, we're going to try and be back next week. It's been rough for me in the morning. I'm just getting to the point where, getting up and getting out of bed is not as bad as... It's not so bad that I'm screaming when I do it, because literally before I was. And if things keep going along this pace and I don't injure myself again, or somebody else doesn't injure me...
Whatever. He's always blaming me.
that we're going to be back tomorrow morning. Chris says several wall sections in the icon section were bare. The electric tool shelves had only displays left. Wow. That is so weird. Joe Smith says tool company history for Park Tools. That is one people have asked before, and don't they mostly do like bike tools? Am I thinking of someone else? Steven says, I got a few pairs of the hard cap knee pads from Harbor Freight with a coupon for $2.49 each. I like using them for work as I kneel on the hard floor in the stores. My knees are so happy. Oh, yeah. Kneeling on concrete's always fun. Yeah. Good purchase there. Joe Smith said we also forgot murder hornets in the calendar.
I thought murder hornets were there.
I think the best comment I've seen, the best meme I've seen is that, what is it? I can't believe it's riot season already. I still have my coronavirus decorations up.
Yeah.
The Barbecue 76 says, I finally made it. Guess I'm late to the show. Well, I guess we've gotten past that now. And let's see here. Brett says, my apologies for venting. You can ignore my rant. Dude, that's why we're here. We're all family, man.
Yeah, totally.
Your camera appears to be drunk.
No, that's just my husband.
What's it doing?
That's how he normally looks like that.
Is it doing the whole focus kind of thing? Because I thought I turned that off. The autofocus. Or was it shaking when somebody's like banging on the ball?
That might have been me. Javier says, when will Makita come out with a K-Cup coffee machine? $5, Javier Estrada. Bing, da, ding, bing, 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 bing.
Isn't their coffee maker a K-Cup? I thought it was a K-Cup. It isn't? I guess it's not.
Wow.
Well, that's a bummer. Let's see here.
You okay over there?
See, it even makes a cordless K-Cup coffee maker. I'm not seeing anything. No.
Coffee maker?
No, we're looking for cordless.
Oh. It's corded.
Sorry, I got a friend is having a vet emergency, so pardon me while I send a number to them. I have to say, this last week has not been good for quite a number of people that we know.
Tyler says, Red's opinion is law. Been watching you for 3 years this upcoming August. My favorite channel by far. I hope you keep up the great work and God bless you and your family. Tyler, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Kind words indeed.
Thank you.
And someone says, if Ryobi is trash, what battery weed whacker should I get? What I say when it comes to that sort of thing is get whatever power tool line you already have. I have not seen a significant difference except in the power of it. So if you want to step up to 40 volt or 60 or 80, if you have that kind of need, then do that. But if you're fine with like 20 volt, then just get whatever you have as far as your regular cordless stuff. Barbecue 76 says, wish I had the time to make a good quality video. Yeah, it's all about finding that time and then editing that time, and yeah. Let's see here. Oh, come on, dog. Dog's over here trying to get me to scratch her there. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry, the comments section jumped on me. Be careful, having a lab leads to blindness. Well, it did in my case. Oh my gosh. Ken asks,
wait, was that Blind Workman?
Yes, Blind Toolman.
Sorry,
Yes.
Toolman. Yes, my mom's first seeing eye dog was a Golden Lab mix, but I don't know what Natsumi is. Is she just a lab?
She's a lab. Oh, hi.
No.
Ken asks, where are you guys at in Montana? I'm from Bozeman. Dude, we're just down the pass.
We're in Livingston.
Yeah.
Who asked that?
Ken Uber.
Oh, cool.
We were in Bozeman 2
Last
days ago.
week.
Yeah. I went to Harbor Freight. Forgot my jack stands at home. I was so pissed.
Yeah,
So pissed. Yeah. Brett says, I vote hand tools. Okay, we can do that.
Well, but we still have to go back anyways because we need to get a ladder.
Yeah, we're going to get a ladder. They were out of the Franklin, the folding ladders. Scorpion Sunday says, hello, Bear family.
Hey.
Let's see here. Steven says, good question. What are your thoughts on corded lawnmowers? My thoughts on corded lawnmowers is that I would run over the cord.
Oh my gosh.
If you've got a small yard, that seems like a very affordable way, easy, low maintenance way to take care of it. But but other than that, like me, I know I would run it over. I just would.
We have some super chats. Barbecue 76, 1076. Did you just ask me about convection barbecue cooking? Yeah, you both are correct. You need help. Whoa. Hang on. I was sending a message to somebody.
I know how to fix barbecues. I'm not that great at cooking on them.
And he says, and say it with me, pellet pooper.
Pellet pooper. We know.
Yeah.
Pellet pooper.
That's a different kind, not a stick burner or barbecue. Oh, by the way, no bell. You get the sad face when there's no bell.
The gong.
Yes.
Is it no bell?
Yes. Thank you, Barbecue 76. And Eric, holy guacamole, $49.99. Your
Whoa.
stock advice on the Bear's Den netted me $8,000. Thank you very much. Large
Whoa.
cowbell, please.
What'd you invest in?
Yeah, we have to know. And now I was super bummed all week. I was bummed because you didn't feel good. But it really feels weird to not see you guys Monday through Friday. So I will do large cowbell as requested. And I am super excited for you that you were able to do such a large gain. That's amazing. 3, 2, 1. Sorry. Do we have $8,000 I don't know about in there?
We don't, but I just want to let you guys know that this past week we did sell our MGM options as they doubled.
I bet they would have gone up even more.
No, MGM at the end of the week went back down.
Well, but because they just opened, my understanding is that all the stock is... We'll see this week.
Going down. Anyway.
We will see this week. And Eric, I am super excited. I feel like doing the happy dance, and I didn't even make $8,000.
That's awesome. Ricky says, what do you think about Hercules miter saw compared to the competitors? Do you think Harbor Freight will have a deal on it for Father's Day? I do think they will. I think it'll probably be at $300, which is their lowest price they sell it at. And I'll be honest, you quote me on this. I think the Hercules 12-inch sliding miter saw is the best tool that Harbor Freight sells. I'll put it up against any of the competition in that price range because there isn't any. It works as good as saws that are twice that expensive. And don't just take it from me. Go through the video and go read some of the comments. Hang out some of the live streams. Every week, someone has contacted me saying, "Hey, I'm a pro. My DeWalt died. I heard you guys talking about this. I thought I would give it a try. And oh my gosh, this thing is fantastic." Every single week, I've had 2 people say they had problems. One of them said that the motor burned up on them, and one of them said the handle broke off. That, you're going to get bad stuff, parts per million kind of thing. It's just the law of averages. But that's why those actually have a decent warranty. And, they're the kind of things that usually happen when you first get them, which is the whole point of the Harbor Freight having the 90-day warranty, because that's what you want to do. You want to buy it, you want to take it home, test it hard, and if you can kill it, then take it back. If it doesn't die, then it's probably going to last a while. Javier says stick burner grill equals smoker. You people in your weird terminology. Is this like in naval terms where I can, like, the head is actually something else? Because I can do the boat lingo thing. I'm not up on the grill lingo. Jim says 169 watching, only 43 likes. Hey people, it's free to smash the like button, and it's also gluten free and I was trying to think here. And police violence free as well. The like button has not been known to kneel on anybody ever. So support your local like button. I know it's not the best joke. I get, sometimes they're not all winners.
He's not been firing on all cylinders. Did you hide my bell?
He's not been firing on all cylinders.
He's been
at all.
Like borrowing the neighbor's cylinders. I have no idea. He has been so non-functioning this week. Sorry, I love you, but that's the truth.
I'm not getting a lot of sleep, and I got shooting pains in my back. Go figure.
Yep. That sounded like a bad word. It wasn't. I was sitting right next to him, but it sounded like a bad word. Shooting pains is what he said.
Pain, yes.
It sounded different. Terry with a $2 super chat. We will see this week. Don't backtalk. LOL.
Oh.
He's going to fall out of the chair. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Put the drink down. I can't ring the bell until you put the drink down.
I put the drink down. Ring the bell.
Thank you. Bing, 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 bing. Okay.
The dog says hi.
Oh, yuck. You were disgusting.
I put my hand down. She's like licking. Stop. Go lay down.
You're
Go
gross.
to your bed. Mm-hmm. Go to your bed. Go lay down in your bed.
So he wiped the dog slobber on me.
Go on.
Great.
Go on. She takes 4 steps. She stops and looks at me. That's not your bed. She's being stubborn. She's laying down in the middle of the carpet. She's like, you're busy. I know you're busy. You can't come and get me right now.
Can you do the thing so it's up to date? Thank you.
All right. Gary says, good evening from the North Woods of Wisconsin. Headed to cities to load in morning. Okay. Drive safe, man.
Yeah.
And Silence says, be careful with those thermometers. Light amplification through stimulation, emission of radiation, laser can cause eye damage, even low power ones. Yes. And I do tell the kids that quite often. They like to try and play with the dog. And I'm like, and I have to explain to them that even the reflection from a laser can be bad. Robert says, sent a pic of the skirt steak to Mrs. Bear. Also, the flying half. It took me a second. I have to remember that. The flying half said, oh, sorry.
Back.
I lifted my foot up to move it, and that's the thing. It's when it's your core, everything's connected to it. In fact, as you notice, I'm making hand gestures. I'm keeping my elbows tight against my sides, so I'm not moving my shoulders. I look like a Muppet.
DR Falcon says keto friendly, so smash the button.
Keto friendly. Yep. Anyway, Robert says, miss you guys in the morning. We're going to be back starting tomorrow. We're going to do it.
Guess who forgot to like the stream today? That was me. Yeah. Just did it. Number 91.
Joe Smith and Friends, by the way, he posted a link to his channel. I think it's his channel. Oh, no, it's the Coast to Coast.
Oh.
I thought I saw for some reason I thought it was After Dark there. I don't. My brain's dyslexic and backwards and sideways right now. And Gary says my ears are ringing. Yeah, it's like that. The Spider asks, are there any micro-sized stubby sockets for a teeny tiny micro-sized 1/4 inch ratchet? Micro-sized stubby sockets. I don't know. If you ask me, all 1/4 inch sockets are pretty teeny tiny. I've not seen particularly stubby sockets in the 1/4 inch. I also have to be honest, I don't deal with 1/4 inch sockets all that much. So if anybody has a solution for Spider there, let him know. Let's see here. Max, the mechanic, says, thanks for telling me Ryobi Tools is good. And 909FXCWC. Is that a ham signal? I don't know. Says, ever thought about doing a kid's beginner tool review? My son is 8 and thinks he needs to own his own Harbor Freight tools. You know, honestly, we did think about doing that. Unfortunately, YouTube did this big thing starting earlier this year where if you direct anything or make anything for kids, they demonetize that video and perhaps your entire channel.
We could do a starter though, like, and it. Okay, you're making a face.
I am. I don't want to go anywhere near it because we have the animated bear. I had this whole conversation with them about this, that as long as we stay well away from that genre, that it doesn't entice people to watch it. And I'm really sorry about that. We like it when people watch with their families, with their kids. We got a lot of guys and gals who watch with their kids and to help them learn tools and stuff. But doing videos or start doing videos that are particularly kid-centric, that becomes an issue for our channel with YouTube. And I'd have to start a whole second channel to do stuff like that.
The Blind Tool Man. $5 super chat from Sir Ronnie B. Bacon, the Black Lab guide dog for Labadoo treats. Aww. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing.
Sir Ronnie B. Bacon.
I just realized that was for Labrador treats.
Yes.
I'm just having trouble. Yeah.
Hand.
Yep. So she will definitely get treats, and please give Sir Ronnie B. Bacon extra scratches from us. And $2 super chat from Terry, especially the 10 millimeter. It's so tiny, it disappears. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you.
It disappears. Somebody made a comment about trying to make your own stubby-sized sockets by turning them in a lathe. I actually had an issue where I had to do something like that, and what I did was I had a belt sander going and put them on a power tool. So I had the sanding motion going this way and the spinning motion going the other way to get an even grind. It was able to grind the sockets down to the sizes I needed. It was more of an exterior size dimension thing for me. Jay says, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Mayor. Miss you guys in the morning. I'm back at work, so it's hard to stand and kneel for 8 hours a day. Oh.
Yeah, well, and you also just had back work. You just had surgery on your back. Thank you, Griffin.
And Groove just says, I've done it myself. Open my mouth without engaging the gray matter. Every stream, someone states, Ryobi, why? Really? Why? Really? Why? It's at a price, and had limited use. Couldn't fault it. Oscar says, my neighbor is a professional couch potato going on 15 years.
Wow.
And Silence says, I've had a lot of my personality and self-image wrapped up in being an aviation maintenance tech. When I got fired, it really tore me up. Now I wire control panels for shot blast machines. Wow.
Cool.
That's it. I can't believe you couldn't get another job in maintenance, but I don't know what the industry is like where you are. So, SMPD 3576 half-inch torque wrench CDI or Icon. I don't have the CDI. I have the Icon, and it's fantastic. But I can't really compare the two. Let's see here.
Hey, Ed, the old tech guy.
Tony says, hello from Roswell, New Mexico. Just finished 93 80-pound bags of cement with the Harbor Freight mixer.
Oh.
That's awesome. Actually, I was thinking about, I really want to get one. I do. I'm trying to find reasons to do it. We're going to build a shed on the side yard, fairly big. We're looking at 15 by 20. And we've got to run 4-foot footers to get all the way down through the frost layer. And I don't think it's enough to justify buying one of the cement mixers, though, because I'm not going to have any. Well, I don't know. Anyway, who knows? Maybe I'll justify it. Do you have any idea when the next Harbor Freight parking lot sale will be? I just asked the store manager the other day. He rolled my eyes and he went, August? I don't know.
September? Yeah.
Yeah. And it depends on the murder hornets, really, at this point. Ed the Old Tech Guy says, 193 watching, 51 likes. Please hit the like button and help support the bear. Thank you, Ed. But you know what? And I hate being the guy on YouTube who begs for likes and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, it really is true. And actually, at this point, it's 201 concurrent, 101 likes. But YouTube really does value the likes, how many likes you give the live streams. So it really, actually all videos. So it really does help. It's the best way. We really appreciate everyone who does the super chats, but I realize not everyone can afford to do that and whatnot. But liking, sharing, and commenting a video are the best and easiest ways to help support the channel. Let's see here. Hawkins says, do you have any idea when the next Harbor... I just said that. Ronnie asks, the Hercules oscillating tool is out of stock, and I got the 20% off coupon. I'm sure if you talk to the store manager, they will give you a rain check on that. Jeff Toey says, howdy from Bozeman. You were cordially invited to a homemade barbecue with brats and with brats. So brats or brats. With all the fixings at my Empire Dirt next Saturday, 2-ish. Oh.
I just looked up his address.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. We got anything next weekend?
I
think we're going to a barbecue.
Yes, I think we are.
Dude, I'm a sucker for a barbecue.
So, and I'm looking to see if I have a phone number as well.
All right.
I do.
We'll take that offline.
Yep.
Jay says, I know the plan. I know the pain. I just got back to work and it hurts like the blazes. Sit in an ice bath for 20 minutes. Yeah.
I just did what I told my children not to do.
Groove Jet says, I was also a power tool snob. Maybe I still am. People are so quick to cut things down so easily. It's a human trait that people need to work past, which is they think that it pushes them up by taking other people down. And if you guys haven't been over to the Facebook page, it's something I'm really quick to do on the Facebook page. We're about 50,000 people over on the Facebook page. Man, if you like tool deals, and I know you're probably tired of me saying this, you got to check out the Facebook group. There's been some tool deals coming out this past week that even the wife is sitting there going through the week going, oh my gosh, can you believe how cheap these tools are? We should go look for them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, did my wife just say we need to go buy tools?
Well, see, I'm really into deals. I get like really excited, like when we can get it for almost nothing. And then I sit there and I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this? But we're a tool channel, so.
Ed the Old Tech Guy says, camera looks fine. Thank you so much. Spider says, yeah, more exotic Makita devices. Now. Yeah, I do like Makita stuff. I wish I could afford to do more Makita stuff on the channel. And then Mohawk says, fuzzy picture and strange lighting, things going on.
I think maybe when you were looking stuff up, it washes us out with all the white light.
If I switch to a different page, right now our pages are, they're like night mode or whatever, where everything's black. And if I switch to a different page, all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of white. So that, especially if I do that, and it gets even whiter. So that might be what's messing with the camera. Sorry. That's what happens when we're sitting in front of a 45-inch TV. It's a, oh no, this is my Samsung. No, this is my Samsung. This is the cheap Chinese 4K thing I think we paid $200 for. Audio is not synced at all now. 7:41 Iowa time.
Are we still having...
That's weird. Is anybody else having sync issues? I am. I'm always out of sync.
Princess Jamie says, what's wrong with the wife wanting to buy tools? LOL. Chicks like tools. We do.
No, I'm all for it. Just this one usually isn't. So,
well, unless it's like a demo thing. Like if I get to
yes,
come home and destroy something. I mean, have free therapy. I mean, destroy something.
And Salem says a friend of mine also had vet emergency this last week as well. It didn't work out for their poor bunny. Oh,
that's terrible.
Steve says going back to the knee pads, I'd rather have sweaty knees than knees that won't work in 10 years. Steve, take it from me. Sweaty knees all day long.
Yep.
Knee pain is terrible. And, the problem is I was a 3-sport athlete. I worked in construction. I did all sorts of stuff. I won't say that I didn't have weight issues, most of my life, but in my 20s and stuff, I weighed 205 pounds, 6'2", and was doing great. And then, I did my first one. I blew up my knee in a judo tournament. I tore my MCL. Didn't have insurance or anything else. Of course, being a stupid, moron.
Being young.
And then I got hurt on the job a bunch. I fell 2.5 stories through a framed house. I did some other stupid stuff. And it's, just basically beat the snot out of myself. And by my 30s, oh my gosh, the knee pain started up. And now, it's just living life in constant pain. Mr. Happy Dude says, aloha from Pearl Harbor. Any recommendations for a flexible bit extension? Dude, I can't believe... I sorry.
Please stand by.
Back twinge. I leaned too far. Mm-hmm. I can't believe you said that because the drill that I got, I was talking about before, it was this cheesy Chinese drill. It came with these brush extensions for cleaning your grill and your bathroom and stuff, but it also came with one of those flexible bit extensions. And I was just thinking, do people really use these? As such, I have no recommendations. I've got one, and honestly, I don't know, it doesn't seem that amazing, but I mean, if you have a specific use where you need to use one, I guess then that's the tool for you. I don't know if anybody can chime in with that. I don't know where. I would say just off of Amazon, unless it's something you're going to be using a whole bunch. Dean says, know of any blade left circular saws under $100 that are corded. Wow, corded. I'm just thinking here.
We're going to look super washed out. This is the lighting I think everyone was complaining about previously.
I've seen a bunch of them, but they've all been, either been cordless or they've all been fairly expensive. It looks like, nope, that's cordless. And that's cordless. That's more than $100.
Insulin, good night. He says, gonna hop in the shower, head to bed. Good night.
Yeah, the old Makita, if you can find one of those things. That was my first thought. My first thought was Makita's got to have one, but the new ones are well over $100. So no, I don't have one. I'm sorry.
It's that time, dear.
Is it that time?
Mm-hmm.
For shots?
It's like that.
No, it is time to adopt a mod where you, yes, you, can adopt your very own mod. And what that means is we have a bunch of mods on this channel. And the mods are anybody you see there with a wrench behind their name. Who
Zaffiel, Joe Smith, Daughter of Ra.
There we go. Fix that one. And they help keep the channel family friendly. They answer questions that we can't get to. They remind people to like the channel. They do all sorts of great stuff to help keep the chat moving. And I really appreciate their help. They help support the channel that you're watching. And if you appreciate that, a great way to say thank you to their work is to go over and check out their channel. Most of them are creators in their own right.
Yeah.
They have tool channels or other related channels that they're trying to get going. So go check them out. Everyone from Joe Smith and Friends, of course, who I can't speak highly enough about. I really like his Friday Joe
After
Smith
Dark.
After Dark, where he does the interviews and stuff. I've been on there. If you want to find out my full history, my full background, you can go and watch the interview over there. The missus did an interview over there. He just had on Junk from Work and a number of other people. I think Ed the Old Tech Guy was on there, and some great interviews. And then, of course, there's Daughter Raw, who has absolutely no content, but
Yep.
like 60 some subscribers right now. So we're trying to get her over 100 because, as we say, she has the best non-content on all of YouTube. So go and choose the moderator that you want to adopt and go check out their channel and give one of their videos a thumbs up and maybe consider liking and subscribing. That said, I want to say also a big shout out. Thank you to everyone who supports us through Super Chats. You guys are amazing. Eric and other Barbecue 76 and everybody. I know that, especially in these times where, a lot of people have been laid off and whatnot, that's a lot harder. And for you guys to step up, I really appreciate that. We both appreciate it.
Yeah. And also, we don't want anyone to feel like they have to. We do, as long as you do at the Den of Tools, we really try to read every single comment. Obviously, we see it first if you do the super chat, but we never want someone to put themselves in a position where supporting us through super chats.
This is not a pay-to-play kind of channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
We truly appreciate it, but we will read everyone's comment that does put at the Den of Tools. I used to be, I read every comment, but we got too many people, 200 people in the chat, everyone commenting. It can be hard to keep up with sometimes.
Chris says his wife graciously allows him to visit the tool store twice a month. Love it.
And then lastly, I want to say thank you to everyone who is a member at the Den of Tools. Ace Fire, Zaphiel, Fred Hill, Ed the Old Tech Guy, and others. That's everyone there you see. Daughter Raw, of course, with a little bear behind their name. They are members. It's all like Patreon. You hear people talking about Patreon and stuff. Well, YouTube now has YouTube members. So there's a link and stuff in the description if you're interested. But they support the channel on a monthly basis, and we really super appreciate them being the core supporters there behind the Den of Tools family, if you will.
Fred Hill sent Chinese food takeout. So is that like dinner, drink, hand sanitizer? What's that last one?
What?
I can't figure that out under Fred Hill. What is that, honey? I'm blind. It does look like hand sanitizer. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I'm not big on the emoji one, so.
I don't know.
It does look like hand sanitizer.
Yep. Ace Fire 325 with the $2 super chat. Hey, Bear family. I hope you've been well. Chomp the like. We are getting better. So thank you so much.
The Cubs are doing great. Mostly it's just my back that's the issue.
Yeah. And Princess Jamie, that is so cool. So she was highlighting what the little bear icon looks like if you are a member. And then she wrote bear. So yes, it looks like that. And people have different colored bears.
Bear right there.
Yeah. And there's a little bear. So let me do the Ace Fire 325 Griffin. I know that you see me talking. $2 super chat. Bing, 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 bing.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
So that's what you want me to do in the morning? Great.
Oh,
I get to ring the bell tomorrow. Awesome. Because I don't super chat Monday through Friday when we're doing the other thing. So I'll get all my bings in the morning. You'll love me.
I'm just saying I sleep with a pistol under my mattress or under my pillow.
I know where the ammo is. The ammo is. Hey, Chris. He joined. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. I'm getting the bell. Bing, 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 bing. Hopefully Barbecue 76 does not kill me. Bing. Thank you. Chris, welcome, and thank you for joining.
What's your name again?
Who are you? See, this is the dementia that we're working with now. I'm your wife. My name is Jessie. We've been married 172 years.
I believe that. Hawkins says, do you know when the next Harbor Freight parking lot sale is? No. I don't think anybody does. Nature Recycle Florida has purchased a still Steel MS 170 new for $169. There you go.
Ooh, I'm like spinning over here. Hey, Will H. She says, hello, all. Thanks for another stream. Missed you guys this week. We missed you, and we are hoping to be there tomorrow. I see Matthew Bean is there as well. He says, what do you think of the steam cleaner at Harbor Freight?
They have a steam cleaner?
Okay. So we're going to say we don't know. So maybe someone else has used it?
I'm guessing that's in that home appliance section, like all the weird home stuff. I had no clue they had a steam cleaner. Sounds interesting.
We have hardwood floors here.
Yeah.
So.
Asylum says, I was like number 83. Jay says, first day was Monday and walked right into the middle of a protest.
Oh,
Couldn't
man.
run, but a limp fast works. Jeez. Michael says, micro-sized sockets use plenty of modified tools. Oh, that's the one where he said you could tune it yourself on a lathe or whatnot. Speaking of which, for all our machinist friends in the chat, somebody on the Facebook page just showed pictures of a used Cincinnati metal lathe that they picked up for. I think they paid like $600 for it. It's fantastic. I'm so jealous. For those of you who don't know, Cincinnati, besides being a town in the eastern Midwest, was also a company famous for making some very decent and large-sized machining tools. Javier says, cut my hands on a half-inch Craftsman ratchet.
Oh, no.
Was it one of the new ones? Because the things are sharp.
Yes.
Gary said something and my chat jumped on me.
Sure he did.
Where'd it go? Gary says, so what do you do when your next stop is not ready till next morning? You go look at tools at Harbor Freight. Yeah, I've been in that kind of job before.
Yep. And the old tech guy with a $2 super chat. 2 dings for Jesse, 3 dings for Daughter of Ra, and 5 for Jeff. So that is 10 dings total. So
you gotta count your dings. I want to see this.
I know. I'm gonna have problems. Thanks. So it's gonna be loud.
That was one.
No. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I feel like
Thank
I'm on
you.
Sesame Street.
Ed, the old tech guy, you're on like Romper Room. I see.
You've got the horns on. It's.
Yep. You married a
Muppet.
Hi. Oh, did you decide you needed to bring your toy? Can I drop it?
I love hearing her growl.
So this is her current friend who she hasn't chewed their head off yet.
Yet.
Yeah. She got it about 3 days ago. So I think actually this is like the longest time she hasn't chewed the head off of something, but she's going to lose her mind when I throw this.
What did we say?
She really likes that toy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Michael says, yes, belt sander would work. Tool post grinder should not kill the hardening. Yeah, if you're doing stuff like that, you do have to watch the temperatures on it. Work it slow. Maybe keep a can of compressed air or something to help keep the heat down. Jim says, I don't know of any special short 1/4-inch sockets. I've always ground one down to fit the job. 3/8 and 1/2 inch. Yes, there are stubby sets. Now I've seen it in those. Yes. Michael says, Red, not every part of the country supports all kind of industry. One of the things I work in is high voltage, and most of that's done in only the most industry dense states and places. You know, as soon as I said that before, we were talking about my comment about not being able to get a job in the aeronautical mechanic, whatever. And then my first thought is, well, it just may not be big in that region. And I've something I've learned, you know, when I was younger, I thought, well, you know, it's just everywhere. And then you learn as you get older that it's weird because you go to some parts of the country and there's like all this industry but it's all this one particular type. And then you go somewhere else and it's all something else. It's kind of interesting. Asylum says, after getting fired from Freight Runners, Air Wisconsin was the only local aviation place willing to hire me. A bit later, I got an offer for more money. More money is always good.
Yep.
Ricky says, I saw your video on Hercules stand for the 12-inch saw. Do you still stand by it now after a year plus of use? Yeah, man, I use that thing a lot. And not only that, but I don't keep my saw because it's a pretty big saw and I had a small place to use it. And so I leave the saw attached and fold it up after use almost every time. So, I'm constantly setting it up, folding it down. And after a year of use, it's still going strong. Michael says, I have no great desire to work like Illinois, New York, California, and the like. And Michael says, high voltage, a good use for murder hornets, not only volts, but amps too. Nice. Rodney says, the dislikes are for the murder hornets.
Nice.
Hiram's in the house. Hey, Hiram. It's extremely emotionally painful to hear what you say about YouTube suppressing content for children, and whoever made that decision with Google and YouTube should be very ashamed of themselves. Hiram, honestly, they didn't. You can thank the FTC for that.
Yeah.
Or the FCC, sorry, the Federal Communications Commission. They forced them to comply with our existing laws regarding collecting data and advertising directly to children. YouTube had been running, basically ignoring it for almost like 10 years. And
I'm sure they got a ginormous fine, and that's what.
No, it was just, I think they were going to get one, and they agreed to comply in this manner. I think they did go a little bit overboard in their attempts to comply, but that's the problem is when you're dealing with federal agencies like that, they never really say, and here's exactly the terms you have to deal with. They go, well, we'll know a violation when we see one. Well, gee, thanks. Fred says, did you get the June Harbor Freight catalog? What do you think of the Bauer 4-piece? I did not. It is hilarious how bad Harbor Freight is at sending me coupons. Or not coupons, the catalog.
We got it last year? We had like a friend or a neighbor or somebody that would drop it off for us.
Here?
Yeah.
No, the postal carrier would find ones that people, like the houses weren't home, but there's a lot of vacation houses and stuff. So after so many days of delivering mail and having someone not pick it up, they get declared as absent or whatever. And they would give us the extra ones. We should probably have a chat with her, see if she can do that again.
Yeah.
Gary says, forgot to hit the like. Done. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Skater says, U.S. General 30-inch 5-drawer mechanics cart is at $199. Good enough to buy or wait for a better deal. Looking for a decent toolbox at $200 to $350. The 5-drawer tool cart should be like $180. Go check out Harbor Freight Coupon Database. There's usually a coupon for it around the $180 mark. Trying to make sure I haven't missed anything here. Ion says, I've got everything I need to get my YouTube channel started. Can't wait to start filming and making your tap wrench. Dude, I'm looking forward to it, man. I love seeing new guys start channels. Some great content out there. Always glad to see more stuff.
Adam had some issues and he got booted. So he's sorry if this question is a duplicate, but any chance of the 40-volt Bauer line? He did a super chat earlier. So that's why the name popped out at me.
The Harbor, I don't think so. I think that, if there is, it's going to be years down the road. But most of the 40-volt stuff that Harbor Freight's going to be doing is going to be outdoor power equipment, and they've kind of passed that along to the whatchamacallit, Lynx and the Atlas stuff for the higher voltage stuff. So who knows what they may do, but I would not guess on it anytime in the next 2 years. Zaphiel says your sync is about as good as a YouTube video can be.
A number of people have said that they just had to refresh and it seems to be better.
Princess Jamie said that she had sync issues also, but it was the drain and she fixed that.
That's because you're amazing, Princess Jamie.
Any comments on the new Atlas mower bundle coupon? James, honestly, I have not seen that. I'll have to go take a look for it. Groovejit says audio is fine. Picture is at 180p. That's just me, man. I'm very greeny like that.
My friend is still not sure what is up with her kitty, but the emergency vet is doing a home visit. So say some prayers for our kitty friends.
Let's see here. Jay asks, any tools you recommend for mechanics? The least expensive tool that will get the job done and last the longest. I'm very big on buy the right tool for the job. So it depends on what job you're doing. Mechanics is a huge spectrum of people. Everyone from, personal shop owners in a one-car garage to, guys doing, diesel and even marine diesel kind of stuff. So, Wilhawk says refreshing sound is good now. Good. And let's see here. Zaphiel, nitrile mechanic gloves for one. Also typed at Den Tools if you want to get his attention. Yes, that's true. And I have both of those. Someone says, good night. I'm going to hop in the shower and head to bed. Will you take care? Have a good one. And Fred Hill says, 2013-14, both my knees have been replaced.
Oh.
Being a firefighter took care of my knees. Well, that's good. And glad you're still around after being a firefighter.
Yes, we appreciate your service.
And Dirty Steve says, dude, I'm loving the M12 power tools. The only two things I have to say about the M12 power tools is I'm not a huge fan of the form factor, how thick the grips are.
Sorry.
I prefer like the Hercules 12 volt for that, but that's just ergonomics. I can get past that. The price when they're not on having the big sales is really harsh, but when they're having these big sales like they were with Home Depot and stuff, those combos, that's just a killer deal, man, for what you get out of the M12 line, especially if you get the M12 fuel. These days the 12 volt stuff is stepping up so much in power that it's equal to what we used to consider to be good as far as standard, 18 when 18 was NiCad volt kind of stuff. And this is something I gotta say. You know, all these guys who will make comments on the videos like, well, if it's not 20 volt brushless, then you shouldn't be talking about it and stuff. And it won't do the job. And I'm like, gee, I wonder how mechanics and everyone else got this stuff done for the past 40 years and stuff. Or, I guess it's been like 20, 30 years. I mean, I was a carpenter, I started back in the late 80s and we had cordless stuff back then. People have been using cordless since then. And, nickel metal hydride and NiCad and now lithium. What did they do before they had all this brushless stuff? I guess nothing ever got built. Anyway.
Aloha.
You okay there?
Yep.
All right. Jim says electricians have flexible bits, so I would look into electrician stuff like Ideal or Greenlee, etc. Okay. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Ed, the tech guy says, adopt me, please. Ed, we already have enough children. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. I need to get a sweatshirt in my size. I love your sweatshirt, but it's a bit big.
I have. So for those of you who don't know, this is our Dena Tools. Okay, shameless plug. This is our Dena Tools sweatshirt you can find in the merch store. But we went with one of the few companies that have, full bear-sized. Easy there, dog. Bear-sized.
You're okay. You're ow. Labrador sized.
Bear-sized pullover hoodies. No. And it's super comfortable, very soft on the inside.
So I steal his.
She steals it from me, and then the kids steal it from her. And I have to go hunting for the thing when I need to use it.
Although I would like to point out, where was it today?
In my closet, which it never is. So how am I supposed to find it in my closet? You hid it.
I know. I hid it on a hanger in your closet. Craziness.
Blind Tool Man says, Blind Man approves a Ryobi, waiting for brushless circular saw from Direct Tools for $69 plus a Ryobi power washer from Home Depot to wash away accidental blood.
Oops.
Oh, Joe Smith comments that Brad's workbench was also on After Dark.
Yes.
Where is Brad? How's he doing? He was going to do some. He asked me about doing a live stream the other night, and then something came up. I hope everything's okay with him. Zaffiel says, Den Tools will only respond to $100 plus super chats.
Nice.
$100 plus super chats, and I'll go streaking through the quad.
Don't encourage him.
$200 plus super chats, and I won't. James says, my wife lets me go to the hardware store if she's with me. So not very often. Oh, jeez. That does sound like you.
For a really long time, I sat in the car, but you could still go. I just didn't want to go.
No, that's Harbor Freight because you didn't want to go in. But you're like, you're always like, I don't know if I should let you go by yourself.
Well, that's true. Just leave your wallet with me. Hey, Echo is in the house. Hello.
All right. Let's see here. Nio 9 I can't pronounce that. NI equals North Idaho. FXCWC is the model number for the Harley Davidson Rocker C Softail. 09 is the year of mine. So it reads North Idaho 09 Harley Davidson Rocker C Softail. Dude, I'm so jealous. I'd love to get a bike.
Just full disclosure, we're not going to remember that. I mean,
I'll just call them North Idaho from now.
Okay, there you go.
Because I can't pronounce that. Michael says the fastest wrist on the volume control, the power of negative decibels. He's talking about turning it down when she's about to ding the little bell there. Fred says, I'm going to have to update my payment method for at the Den of Tools to join. Oh, sorry, man.
Sorry.
Let's see here. Michael says Steam, that goes back to an idea I had in November 2016, offered to steam clean loose political bumper stickers off of cars.
Hey, Adam, welcome to the den. Bing, bing. Thank you so much for joining us. You are now a member.
Thank you so much.
Why are you making faces at me?
I wasn't sure how crazy you were going to go with the bell there.
I was trying not to be, yeah.
Let's see here. Jay says, I hit the like and subscribe. What is your take on the Atlas series tools at Harbor Freight? So I did this whole thing on it, and it looks like they're getting it from the same supplier as, I think it's Greenworks, which has an excellent reputation. It looks like they did some, it doesn't look like it's exactly the same. There's some slight internal changes, definitely some changes on the battery. But it looks like a decent setup. I have not used it. I've not seen it run. I've only looked at it in the store. I've talked to, I think, 2 people who have the 80-volt trimmers, and they say that they're just absolutely insane. But I don't know anybody who's gotten the lawnmower or anything like that. So at this point, it's kind of too early to tell. Fred Hill says, I think you guys are glad you're not in Vegas. Oh, so glad. We're talking to a friend of ours the other day, and she was like, what? It's only like 107 today. Yeah. Isn't that what she said?
Yes, sorry, I was reading someone else's thing. I'm squinting. Yeah, it's ridiculous o'clock hot.
Jay, what is better, Craftsman or Cobalt? Well, that depends whether you're talking about the hand tools or the power tools. If you're talking about the hand tools, I would say Cobalt. If you're talking about the power tools, I would say definitely Cobalt. Full disclosure, I'm not a fan of much of that Stanley Black & Decker does. I will say that the high-end DeWalt stuff is good. They do make some really good tools at the higher-end stuff. Their lower-end stuff, I think, is not that well made, and they're trading kind of on their name at that point. And I think their batteries across the line, we're talking Craftsman and Porter Cable and Stanley Black and Black & Decker and Mac, I think their batteries are junk. I think they're very poorly made batteries, especially for the price point that they sell them at. The only exception I will say to that is the FlexVolt line of batteries, which are phenomenal. Trent?
Sorry. Breaking news.
What?
Forrest Fenn says that his treasure has been found.
What?
Yep.
Where? Was it the guy in the chasm in the park? Don't tell me it was him.
No, it's not. So he hid $1 million in treasures in the Rocky Mountain wilderness a decade ago. Jeff and I were talking about this. A girlfriend and I were talking about this. I reserved the book to read it.
Every year somebody gets hurt or lost or killed.
Or a bunch of people. Last year, they were having to airlift people. People are nuts. They are like Chris Mccandless. They take a match and a tiny thing of water and go on a 4-day excursion in the snow and then get rescued.
What did you say, Chris Mccandless?
Chris Mccandless is the guy who went into the wilderness in Alaska and died.
Of course I remembered his name. I just like that dude, that idiot who went into Alaska and died.
So he told the Santa Fe, New Mexican that a treasure hunter located the chest a few days ago. The man who found it does not want his name mentioned. I wonder why.
Yeah, I bet.
He's from back east, adding that it was confirmed from a photograph the man sent him.
Okay, but he's not going to tell us where it was?
Nope. I guess he posted clues online and in a 24-line poem, which was what I was trying to find in the book that was at the library. Which, let me tell you, I'm pretty sure that he has made back more than $1 million because the book was like $75 to buy. Anyways. No, the guy who wrote the book.
I got an idea. Let's write a book and do the same thing.
Okay. You see this headdress right here? This headgear? We're going to hide it somewhere, and then we're going to sell you a book.
No, we're gonna hide
for $100.
$100 million somewhere in the United States.
Okay,
and all you have to do is buy my special book and audiobook for $100.
We're not going to tell them that it's in our bank account.
If I had $100 million in my bank account.
No, I mean, like, we would have it
back.
if we... You're a goober.
Well, I figure we'll just make some obscure stuff. No one will ever find it, and we won't have to come up with the $100 million, right?
Goodness. But we might make $100 million with an amazing book deal. Okay, I'm literally going to go cry now because I was planning to go hunt for this treasure.
She really was.
I had a girlfriend that was going to come hunt with me. We have a bunch of kids between us.
Trent, I got to read this because Trent needs to have his comment read, which is, talking to Makita customer service, you will regret it.
Yes.
Trent, for those of you who don't know, is a regular on the channel here, not a fan of Makita. Princess Jamie says, I got to use Harbor Freight tube notcher for the roll cage I just built. I created a setup video, was not impressed, but it saved me from using the grinder the entire time. Interesting. I'll have to watch that. Michael says, I flunked out of Sesame Street. The shame of it all. Dude, that's harsh.
Okay, totally did not do at the Den of Tools, but Mr. 300 Traveling Electrician says, hey, Bear, strange fact, your voice helps put my 3-year-old son to sleep. I put you on as a lullaby for him. Oh.
Oddly enough, it does to my wife also. Thank you. That's great. I'm glad it helps.
That is super sweet. Thank you for sharing.
You want a strange fact? On road trips, my eldest, he would cry in the back seat sometimes. And this was in California, which some of you aren't going to be aware of this if you live up north. But some roads, the reflectors that they often, like roads that have, if you live up north, they sometimes inset reflectors. Well, down south and in the west, the reflectors are actually little bubbles they just glue on top of the road. And so they're little bumps. So if you go over them, they make that bop sound. And I would actually at times drive with one wheel or one side of the car on the reflectors to create a rhythm, and it would put him to sleep.
Only when it was safe to do so. We're not like running.
No, I'd make other traffic get out of the way.
Shush.
Screw them.
But yes, it would work like a charm. And it still kind of works, and he's almost 14.
Yes. Let's see here. James asked about the comments on the Atlas bundle coupon. I think we commented on that already. I haven't seen it. The Princess Jamie says, it's already worn out. I notched an entire cage and it needs metal bushings for the arbor shaft instead of plastic. I also had to shim it to get the angle proper. That sounds like the old school Harbor Freight stuff, which is it would get you like 90% of there. And if you did a few hacks and fixed a few things, speaking of a sleepy bear, how you doing? He's been taking a late afternoon nap. He didn't get good sleep last night. Then we had him out. He was working with me and the rest of the cubs outside today. So he's a little worn out.
Well, your friend, Michael, is over here speaking German to me, but I can tell what he's saying already because there's Hannibal Lecter in there. Great.
Jeff Moschik als Hannibal Lecter. I don't know. Kein Glück für mich hat Abend.
So I think he's saying no bell because kein means no. Yeah, my German is like super limited. Okay, $5 super chat with no bell.
She hates it when I do the Hannibal Lecter imitation. It drives her nuts.
Michael, one day we're going to have like a get together and I'm going to bring the bell. I'm just telling you. Daughter of Ra, you will not be allowed near me because you'll probably light it on fire. So I didn't ring it. I'm shaking it at you.
I'm
I picked up about every fourth word there. My German is terrible. My French is
It's Frenchie.
Je parle un petit mot.
Take her outside.
Are you okay, dog?
Which is sad because I am German. I was actually born in Germany. But, being that teenage rebel, I took French in school because screw German.
Obviously missed the little microchip that they put in that just imports the German.
Yes. Andrew says, how would you compare Ryobi to Cobalt as a consumer to prosumer lineup? So Cobalt really only has one line. It's just Cobalt. Ryobi has several different lines. I would say that the higher end Ryobi, like the brushless stuff, is in some cases as good, or in other cases close to as good as Cobalt prior to the XTR lineup. I would say from what I've heard from the XTR lineup, that it's taken it another step past that. So I would say Ryobi is good. The real reason to go into Ryobi is just average user around the house, and you want a huge selection of tools. Cobalt has a smaller selection of tools, but they're focused on what most people are going to need, and the tools are fantastic.
Michael says, invite Dr. Lecter over for a barbecue. Makes an amazing dinner guest. Michael, you're in timeout. Mm-hmm.
Gary says, I have a white Makita drill that a installer left in one of my CT gantry. Can't find any that can use it. Has to give it. Can't find anyone that can use it that has them to give it to. Ding, ding, ding.
And Gary, I think you sent me some emails earlier today. Cool pictures. Thank you.
Well, Frank says he got a Cub Cadet for Father's Day. Now I just need to heal enough to use it. That's funny. I just had to explain to the Cubs what Cub Cadet was. They saw it, and they were super excited. Ed the Otech guy says, hey, everybody, make sure to type at the Den of Tools to make sure Jeff reads your comments and questions. Thank you, Ed. And Michael says, for example, Michigan is big on environmental test chambers. California on high voltage stuff like particle accelerators and cyclotrons. Interesting. And Spider says, I use my Black & Decker batteries with my Makita and an Amazon adapter. Yeah, there are apparently a whole bunch of adapters out these days. Somebody has asked me to do some tests to compare them, but somebody did a whole video on them, comparing all of them. So I don't know if there's much else to say than they work. I think that they are a Band-Aid because they definitely make the tool exceptionally and unwieldy large, but it is there. Matt's in the house. Matt Pereski. Good evening, clan of tool bears. And Frank says, I watched your video about Craftsman and Cobalt from a year ago. Do you feel the same way about Craftsman taking over Cobalt and declining? No. And Frank, at the time, I'd heard some comments. Honestly, when I made that, I don't think that Lowe's was fully invested in their Cobalt line. I thought that they thought that Cobalt was going to go away to make room for Craftsman. And they saw how much pushback there was for the Cobalt stuff. They saw the videos. They saw people coming into stores. And they realized, hey, we've got a product here that people really like. The hand tools did get about halved. And the other parts got moved online. But the power tools, they doubled down on. And they've really been serious about it. So I'm pretty excited. At the time, when I said don't buy Cobalt at that time, it wasn't because the tools weren't good. It was because I didn't know if there was going to be any future for that tool, being able to get batteries and stuff, or if the tool line was going to go away. At this point, they've proved that they are dedicated. They've come out with a whole new line with the XTR. They're coming out with a whole bunch of new tools. I think at this point you can feel just fine that they're going to be around for a while. Let's see here. Matt says the catalogs from Harbor Freight are like the lottery for me. Yeah, I know. And I get them about how often I win the lottery, too. Let's see here.
Adam was saying, how do I find your store? I need bear-sized clothes. Man, we all need bear-sized clothes. It's in a link, right?
There's a link in the video description, but you can go to denoftools.com. Just denoftools.com. There's a link there. It's denoftools.com/store. We'll get you there. Gary asks, what would be a decent battery-powered pole saw? Need to do a little tree trimming. That's a good question. The only one I've used is the Lathe, which is a clone of the Lynx version from Harbor Freight. And honestly, it's been great. It's a 40-volt pole saw. It's a little heavy, and I wish it was about a third or half again and longer. It's for most trees, it's like it doesn't really get much but just the very basic kind of stuff. And being 6'2", I can get most of the low hanging. If it's low hanging stuff, I can already get it with something else. So I do wish it was longer, but I don't know of anybody who really does make a super long pole saw like that. So I can't really say as to who makes the best one. But again, what I often say when it comes to outdoor power equipment is, in most cases, unless you have a specific need for something that's more industrial, more professional, higher end kind of stuff, just get whatever the tool line that you're already invested in has. If you're in DeWalt, get the DeWalt. If you're in Milwaukee, get the Milwaukee. If you're in Bauer now just came out with a pole saw, so you can get the Bauer. Okay, we're buffering. Who's streaming? Eleanor?
Probably the biggest.
Oh, sorry.
Duncan?
He's asleep.
He might be asleep again.
Okay. Is he streaming while he's asleep? Because he likes to do that.
He might do that.
Montana Handlebar in the house. Evening all, still at work night right now. Well, you stay strong. I'm sure the end of the day will come around soon enough. And Tim said the catalog had a large section for the Insider Club. Yeah, I've noticed they've been merging. That used to be two different catalogs, and they've been merging it now to do it all in one. Matt says, audio sync is good here. I switched from my TV to my computer, and the video is better, too. Go figure. Weird. Michael says, cats, the other pet technology. My dogs are not in favor of it. I like other people's cats. I do not want to have cats.
I think you like the idea of cats. You're not really interested in even other people's cats.
No, I think cats are fine. I just don't like having to deal with the support that goes along with cats.
But if you're in the Livingston area and you'd like to outsource that, we have a young one who's totally willing.
Yes. And Fred says 4 tools, 7 piece. The one that's the super combo there for the. Somebody sent me the combo for the super coupon for the Bauer stuff. It looks intriguing. I'm gonna do some more research into it.
Ed, the old tech guy with the $5 super chat. Snap-on cabinet full of Snap-on tools and hide it. Sell the book full of clues. Dude, the Snap-on crowd would be willing to pay $500 for the book. Kidding.
And
Sorry,
only
not
$10
sorry.
per week.
Right, exactly. It'd be, yep. So thank you so much, Ed, for the brilliant idea. I think we have to give him 10% royalties. So thank you so much. Bing, 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 bing.
Next April Fool's, I'm doing that video.
Oh my goodness. I will be right back.
Ricky says, Commodore Bear, it seems the cure for COVID-19 is a little looting with a sprinkle of property destruction. Followed by hurting innocent folks. My biggest issue with this is all these experts who said, you can't go, we can't reopen the country, we can't do any of this stuff. But you're more than welcome to go out and hang out in mobs of thousands and close packed groups out in the streets and lock arms and dance with each other, because that won't be a problem at all.
Full headphones, can't hear a thing. Saliro,
I can't pronounce that. Hey, Brother Bear, I just picked up my very first power tool set with the M12 fuel kit and free ratchet. Great choice. Before I open it, do you think something better will pop up for Father's Day? Not for the M12 line. I gotta say that's one of the best deals I've seen around there for some time. The other thing is the Ryobi Days is around the corner. If they're still going to do it, I think they are. I think it was supposed to be. Let me look at my calendar here. I think it was originally supposed to start on Monday, and I think they're pushing it back to the end of the week or next week at this point. So we're going to wait and see. But that's two completely different caliber of tools. So when you say good deals, I don't think there's anything that's going to be a good deal on par with the quality of the M12. How about that? Princess Jamie says, or girls building transmissions in their kitchen. I recommend a good set of Snap-on ring pliers if you get into transmission work. I also recommend not doing it in your kitchen. But if you don't have a garage, you do what you got to do. Princess Jamie says that Milwaukee M12 vacuum is trash. Yes, it is one of the M12 tools that does not suck, that actually should. James says, any word on when Hercules will launch SDS tools? Don't know where they're going to launch them. We've seen pictures. I don't know if you saw the video. We released pictures of a whole line of SDS tools. Don't know when they're coming out. My guess is going to be end of the year. Brent says, emergency question. Do you know if DeWalt put the serial number of the DW73 saw on the box? What does the serial number look like? I don't know. Sorry, man. Usually when they do stuff like that, what they do is they cut a window in the box and put the serial, and so you can see the serial number of the product. Maybe they did. I don't know, man. Let's see here. Mr. 300 says, Makita is and always will be the best. I'm kind of a Makita fan bear, I have to admit. Jay Who says, hello, thanks for helping me get to 100 subscribers. Yay! That first 100, man, that's tough. It really, really is. Trying to get that traction. But once you get that traction, once you get to 100, getting 100 is hard. And the next one is getting to 1,000. The one after that's getting to 10,000 and stuff. We're at 88,000. And I honestly thought I would never get super excited. But the whole family is pretty stoked about getting close to 100,000. So I think we're going to have a little party when we do that. Michael says, what did they have before cordless tools? Cordless tools. Stuff with wires on it. Go figure. And air pressure. Lots of big rotating belt systems. Dude, the big belt system, I love seeing pictures of the old factories where they have these giant belts going across the roof of the factory. And then drop downs coming from those, going to stationary tools. What an insane setup that was. Echo was in the house. Hey, Echo, how's it going? And Montana Handlebar says, later, all time to end my break and get back to work. Shine on. You too, sir. James says, any word on Hark? Oh, we talked about the SDS. Hey, by the way, James, you don't have to repeat stuff. It just takes me a while to get to it. I will read your comment. As long as you put @den tools, which you did, I will get to the comment. Repeating it just makes me waste time repeating the question. Fred says, 2 1.5 amp hour batteries, 20 volt hex impact drive, recip saw, 4.5 inch angle grinder, 6.5 inch circ saw, and battery charger. He's talking about the Bauer deal, the combo kit for $199. It looks pretty good. I have to compare the pricing. I haven't shopped around to see what the pricing comparison is from, like, say, Ryobi and other tools in that kind of lineup. I gotta say, of those, I have the impact, I have the recip, and I've got the batteries. I don't have the angle grinder, and I do have the circ saw. So the impact is fantastic. The recip saw is pretty good. It will shake the snot out of you, though. The angle grinder I don't have, haven't used, and the circ saw I do have, and I would rate the circ saw as decent. Ion says, I finally got to use my new Icon ratchet, changing my nephew's alternator. Best ratchet you can get for $37. I will say this. I do have the Icon 3/8 ratchets, and I like them. I think they're pretty good. I still like the Tekton stuff more. I'm not saying it's better made. It's just I'm a big one for ergonomics of a tool. And I really like being able to use a tool without looking at it. And something about the Tekton just really appeals to me.
Yeah, ergonomics is a super big thing for you.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I'm not a Glock fan. Is because the ergonomics on the Glock they're almost like anti-ergonomic, really. They're terrible.
Michael says, have to get ready for the morning. That means I have to go practice my snoring. Keep it sane. Play the old Bebop Deluxe song, Shine. It's a happy one. Have a great night, and hopefully we see you tomorrow morning.
Who was that?
It was Michael.
Michael, okay. Good night, Michael.
Mr. Lecter's friend.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Owen's Jeep Stuff says, hello. Hope the evening is going well. It is. In fact, the Cubs were out playing in our Jeep just a little bit ago.
They still are.
Oh, somebody was asking what engine the Jeep has. So the Jeep that we had that was given to us is a 96? Mm-hmm. 96 Jeep Grand Cherokee Sport Limited. It's white, 4-wheel drive, and it has the 5.2 liter Magnum engine.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Fred says, remember Back to the Future where Michael J. Fox turns the amp on and blows the speakers?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do. Jay says, thank you. You're welcome, sir. Michael says, speaking of Craftsman, there's a big poster on the front of the local Napa Auto Parts store featuring some Craftsman items. Nearly sent you a photo of it. I actually did see that. The local Napa has that as well here. James says, anywhere. We talked about that. Michael says, poorly prepared for nature. To steal a quote, think of it as evolution in action. Jehu says, I picked up a Braun LED shop light. Have you reviewed them? I have not, but here's my review of it. I just threw mine away. Now, I will admit, I have some, is peccadillos the right word for this?
Oh, that's not the word I was going to use, but you can go with it.
You're just pissed I threw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what, you know why I threw it away?
Because you're mean to your wife.
I don't like it, and we have no freaking idea where the charger is for it.
I can tell you where it is.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
in
good.
that box of
All
cords.
the other
No,
chargers?
of cords that I got ready to go that didn't come with us from Vegas.
Great, so it got thrown away.
No, it didn't get thrown away.
No,
It's
I
left in
threw it
Vegas.
away.
Nope.
The light.
Yes.
Those horns are making you slow.
I may be slow, but I can still gore you.
I love to live dangerously. Just like stealing her soda.
Enjoy all the chapstick. It's
Spray
bear
that button.
repellent.
Yeah. Anyway, here's my issue with it. I bought it for not only as a... I'm going to have to back up a step. I'm going to have to issue a retraction. I got so caught up. I saw Braun. I was... Shop lights.
86, everything he just said, we're going to start over.
I love the shop lights. I think they're great. I've got several of them. They work fabulous. I think they're a great purchase when you get them for $20. I think there are better options out there when they're on sale, when you can find them at like Costco, but they're not something you can find all the time. That said, I was thinking of the under the hood light, you know, that plugs in with an adapter and it's got a battery in it and stuff.
Jehu's like, no, the shop light, you plug in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just being a moron and was... Because I literally just threw that thing away thinking my wife's going to kill me. So no, the shop lights are fantastic. In fact, I'm about to replace the light in our mudroom with one. We've got a little like hanging single bulb light in there. I'm going to put a whole shop light all the way across, turning that into kind of a tool room right now. I'm going to build some more shelves in there until we get the shed outside, the garage really built. And... a herd of buffaloes just ran past me.
Yeah, I'm
Jim
not really
says
sure.
Stanley's best stuff by far is Proto and Mac tools that are made here, and Porta stuff, Facom, French-made stuff, and USAG from Italy. The Taiwan tools are about the same as the others. What was that?
That was my shoe.
So, Jim, I will say I'm not a fan of most stuff from Stanley. Their Proto tools are awesome. I don't really use the Mac stuff, so it's hard for me to say. Mech hand tools, I've tested them. They do okay. For the money, I don't think they're as good as the Proto stuff. And the other thing I think is a really good value for the money is the Irwin stuff. I think the Irwin stuff has been for the value for how much you pay for it, especially when it's on sale, because there are some really great sales on the Irwin stuff. I think it's pretty good. Hiram says, like I said, Red, the DeWalt batteries are not junk. They're just not really worth what they cost. You know what, Hiram? You're right. They're not junk. And I probably took it too far there. Because of how much they charge for them, it makes me irate and I get a little heated about them. But you're not. You're right. They're not junk. But they're not worth what they ask for. Michael says, put the horns on the dog, make people guess. No, because somebody will think it's a bison and they'll try to pet it.
Or a bear will try to eat it.
Or a bear will try to eat it. Have you guys seen the video of the bear eating the bison in Yellowstone last week? All I'm going to say is bears won, bisons.
Sonic says, Bears, can I just say that I love the community that you've attracted? Well done, my friends. Well, you should include yourself in that, Sonic.
Definitely. And
Yep.
we appreciate having you here. We know that when it comes to YouTube tool communities, there's a lot of choices you could make. We appreciate you flying with Bear Airlines. Now, you know what? I've seen so many tool communities become utter toxic cesspools where people, there's a Harbor Freight, I hate to say it, there is a Harbor Freight coupon group on Facebook that used to be excellent. And now it has been completely overrun where anytime somebody asks, or the icon group on Facebook is really just a bunch of people who don't buy Harbor Freight tools, just dissing on icon tools. And I'm not here to say that icon's the best in the world, but these groups, the communities, people just let them kind of go wild, and you get these people in there who think it's fun to just, as we say, tool shame other people. And
Sorry, guys, I totally made the whole table shake.
or when somebody asks a question, you'll see a lot of these other things like somebody like, hey, I'm new to this. How do I do blah, blah, blah? And for a lot of us, that's stupid simple, just Google it or something. But people will respond with some really cruel kind of comments. And then it makes other people not want to ask questions. And if you get people who aren't going to ask questions, then it becomes a
whole generation of people that don't know how to do something because they've been shamed into not asking questions, getting hurt, making...
Well, how many of you are gun guys and remember walking into a gun store for the first time and how friendly they can be? Or a tattoo shop. You walked in for your first tattoo and how friendly they can be. That kind of toxic attitude just keeps people away from it. And I don't like that.
Yep. Dominic M. with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you for the uneven number. It says, wait, what? You're not a real bear? Haha. Thanks for the videos. You are so welcome. 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. This being brought to you by Mrs. the Bear.
Well, the story always is that, I'm the human, and because my name's Jeff, and then Red is actually the
Bear.
Don't move it like that.
And
Pick that up.
I don't know if you guys saw Belts and Boxes, who used to be Cop Tool. Great people, nice people. But as they referred to me, they just highlighted my video with the hammer on there, and they referred to me as their favorite furry. When I get my paws on them. Just say it. Anyway, Zafio says, all of this treasure stuff you're talking about seems like BS to me. I'm very cynical. I'm going to take a bath in my gold bathtub now to cool down.
We love you, Zafio.
Echo says, you can have them, find that long-lost drone, write a book giving clues. The drone got back. We got the drone back.
Honey, you're not supposed to tell them that.
Oh, sorry.
We're writing the book about how it's
drone.
lost.
I missed it. Fred Hill says, also about Las Vegas, the rioting and violence. A cop and a rioter both shot. The cop was shot in the head. He's on life support. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing says, support my cause like, just walking up and executing people. Salero says all the proceeds from the treasure book went to art-focused nonprofits in the New Mexico area. That's cool. I know there's a lot of that down there, and there's a huge artist community, especially in the Santa Fe area. And Jay says, any good drill presses you recommend? Well, it depends on the size of the drill press you're talking about. I'm a fan of the Harbor Freight stuff. I have the 5-inch and I have the 17-inch. Of course, I paid $125 for the 17-inch. Got it open box. Thing is a beast. The 5-inch is probably one of the best drill presses you can buy for $50. You just got to remember, it's a $50 drill press. It's not a $175 drill press, which people like to compare it to. The who's the other one? Not Works. I can't think of the other name of the. They're based out of Chicago.
Oh,
they're
my
orange
goodness,
and black.
so bright.
Win. I remember Win. So Win makes a decent one. Their customer service is iffy. Who else? Grizzly has a fabulous one. Jet makes a great one, but you're going to pay an arm and a leg for it. And trying to find a good used one on Craigslist and whatnot can be frustrating because people think that they're just worth, exactly what they paid for them. They're like
75 years ago.
They're like, I paid $1,500 for 75 years, 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So I want, $1,400 now. And the thing is a complete rusted out shell. Like, well, good luck with that.
That fell off the truck 4 times.
Michael says, invite Dr. Lecter over. You read that one. Mm-hmm. Michael says, side effect of war work, you develop either an ulcer or an evil sense of humor. Guess which one I got?
We know which one you got.
Most of the guys I know who served over there got both. XTR, stolen from Shimano. And we talked about the store. Are you still doing OMAD? No, we went off OMAD. It's hard for me to do OMAD when I'm not doing keto, and when the whole shelter in place, stay at home thing happened. Our local grocery stores got just a run on all the fresh food products and the meat, and it's really hard to eat keto and get constantly good foods in when you can't find food at the grocery store. So we're trying to get back on it now that things are opening back up and now that we're up here. So we've just been talking about getting back onto that kind of controlled diet. Yikes, what happened there? Oh, it's 8:02, which means it's also time to... I almost did it again. Have a pointer?
Point with a pen.
Point with a pen. Adopt a mod. Yes, you too can adopt your very own mod from our fine selection of mods here on the channel. Actually, it gets to be over here. I don't know. It's somewhere there. The mods are anyone, their name is usually in blue, has a little wrench behind their name, the Cobalt blue wrench. And the mods are all people who help keep the channel running, or the chat running in the live streams. They answer questions that we can't get to, remind people to type in @DenaTools so we know to read it. Hammer down some trolls when they pop up, and generally are just excellent people to have around. And if you like what we do here, we try to support the tool channel community. In fact, the YouTube community as a whole. We definitely believe in the saying that rising tide floats all boats. So we ask that you go and support, pick one of the mods at random or whichever one you think has the best, icon picture or whatever, profile pic or whatever. Everyone from Joe Smith and Friends on down, Ed the Old Tech Guy, and others. And go and check out their channel and maybe consider liking, subscribing. Maybe you find some great new content that you really enjoy. Of course, we have Daughter Raw, who has the best non-content in all of YouTube. You will never find a video that you don't agree with on her channel. I guarantee that. And also want to say a big shout out, big thank you to everyone who supports with the the super chats. It's really amazing you guys doing that. I can still remember the first time I got a super chat and just being like, wow, that's just incredible. And I still feel that way each and every time. Yeah. Regardless of it, if it's, $1 or $50 or more, it's always been fabulous every time we get them, and it just blows us away that your sport, because we really do feel like you are all family here, and we appreciate the people who show up any week, especially all of you who show up every week. It's really amazing. We love spending our Sunday evenings with you. Also want to say a big shout out, big thank you to everyone who has the little bear behind them. They're all the Inner Sanctum members of the YouTube members club here for DenaTools. It's like Patreon, but built into YouTube, so you don't have to go off to a separate site and whatnot. They're the monthly supporters, and you guys are fantastic, and especially our 2 new members today. If you're interested, there's a link down below. You can find it and whatnot. Anyway.
I was going to say something.
Go for it.
So I just want to remind the mods, some of you forget that maybe your channel isn't your username or your screen name. So this is really a great time to insert your channel name so that people can find you. I know that I have searched for people, and it's super easy to forget since we do see a lot of each other at least once a week. to forget that maybe somebody doesn't know how to find your channel. So please don't be shy. Put your channel there. Even if you're not a mod, if you are somebody who's watching us for the first time, but you have a great channel or somebody you want to check out, share it. Everybody here has a voice and you are all totally valued.
Fred says, had a storm hit last night. 80-mile-an-hour winds split the tree behind me in half. Good grief. We get a lot of winds around here, let me tell you.
Last night.
Joseph asks, is Inside Track at Harbor Freight a good deal? My take on it is, if you're in Harbor Freight at least once a month and you're spending $50 to $100, then yes, it's a no-brainer. I would recommend you buy it online, because if you buy it online, you get the 2-year package. It's like $30 and you get like a $10 gift card back. So that's definitely the way to do it. Brett says, does DeWalt label the box with a serial number? Oh, that's the one we talked about.
Yeah. Owen's Jeep Stuff, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. It says, we love the Bears family. The Bear family.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. Owen's Jeep Stuff. Great to have you tonight.
Jay says, why do people hate Makita? Well, Jay, Trent hates it because he has some bad customer service from them. Other people, I think they're just offended by the teal blue nature of the tool.
Because it's pretty.
It's very pretty. Fred says, Barry, you are so are you so true? I'm not sure what I'm true about at this point, but thank you. The Bullion says, before battery powered tools, there were cordless tools that were muscle powered.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we? We were somewhere. Oh, we were going. No, it wasn't our stuff, was it? That hand crank drill?
No, that's ours.
Is that ours?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to be selling that in the garage sale. I have no need for one of those. Meow Fox says,
He thinks we're selling it. I'm just going to tell him that we
Parkside
sold
tools
it.
all the way from Liddell, quality and 3-year warranty. Ed the Old Tech Guy says he loves Makita. They're awesome. Check out his channel for lots of Makita talk coming. And let's see here.
This dog is trying to kill me.
Is she now? The Princess Jamie says, looking at supplying my trail box with Icon and Tecton for trail repairs on other people's rigs as well. Dual batteries and onboard welder is also in the plans. That sounds like a neat setup. So just out of curiosity, so how are you planning
Griffin.
to... Oh, sorry. Moving my feet sometimes hurts. Dog, stop licking me. Oh my gosh. And when Trent comments that Capri tools are quite nice. I do have some Capri stuff. I'm testing some Capri stuff coming up. They seem like some great people and they got some great tools. So I've heard some great things from them, and the stuff I've seen so far has been good. And let's see here. I just lost where I was.
Princess Jamie said, not a mod, but I do have a channel if you're into wrenching. It's fairly new to YouTube. If you want to see a mechanic build a Jeep with limited space. She has some really cool videos. And her channel name is exactly like her.
I heard her Jeep is going away.
What?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to find it.
I was going to say, my mind was going, because my husband's going to steal it.
I have plans for her Jeep, man. I love CJs. You just don't understand.
Oh, but I do.
Gary asks, how is the M12 grease gun? You people seem to manage to keep finding all the gaps. I have not even tried. I've not even held the M12 grease gun. I don't know. I know somebody who's got the larger version of it, but I don't know anything about the M12 version. Sorry. Adam says, any sneak peeks on the Monday ad video? Adam, I will tell you this. The one big one that I've been holding off. So this is, and you're going to all get pissed at me for this because I'm going to say again, I know some of you don't like Facebook, but the Facebook group found, the what do you call it? The rigid shop vac we were talking about being closed out for $25. And I immediately wanted to do a video on it, but I'm like, these guys are doing all the footwork. They're finding it. I got to give them a head start before I tell everyone else. And they just disappear. So the big lead on Monday is going to be a $25 shop vac from Rigid. Ian says, if there was a gun in Minecraft, it would be a Glock. I love my Springfield XDM 40. You know, when I taught classes, CCW classes, my sidearm of choice for like shooting all day was the Springfield 9. Not as ergonomic as, say, like a CZ. CZ is the most ergonomic thing out there, but not a big fan of their polymer stuff. And shooting a all steel gun all day it gets tiring. What do you think about articulating arm miter saws? I think that they are a specific solution to a specific problem, and that is clearance. I take it you're talking like the Bosch articulating where it has that weird double hinge that's fabulous, but it's expensive, and what you're paying for there is it's not better than other systems. In fact, it's slightly worse, but what you're getting is you're getting zero clearance on the back end. So you could have it right up against a wall. And so in a shop space, that is invaluable. So that's what that is for. Again, it's, I always say right tool for the right job. And if you're looking for an area where I don't have clearance and I need it and I need a high-end saw, that's the saw to go with. Cut Thumb Carleo says, what is your background with tools? Roughly speaking, 10 years as a carpenter, 5 years as a low voltage electrician and IT work, everything from running Cat 5 fiber phone lines to building out IT server room infrastructure to eventually transitioning over to networking and that kind of thing. That's my professional background. Personal background is, worked on cars my entire life. As I talk to my kids, I learned to work on cars because I was broke when I was young. I had to fix stuff myself. I couldn't pay to take it to a mechanic. And I've had, at this point, 60 some cars or something like that, and vehicles and boats and whatnot. I've built several houses. I bought a house for $2 on my own in Indiana. We have the 4th oldest house here in the state. In Montana, we're working on. So it's, and then on top of that, I have some professional, later in life, some professional background in manufacturing and some engineering stuff. So I've understanding, not an engineer myself, but working with engineers, understanding the manufacturing process. So combining those two, understanding how tools are used and how they're made, and understanding how those two come together is really what I think my expertise here on YouTube is. But if you want to see more, go check out Joe Smith's channel, the Joe Smith and Friends, and his Joe Smith After Dark, and there's a full interview with me. It has the whole 9 yards on it. Sonic says, Bears, can I just say that I love oh, that's the one that you read before. Thank you again, sir. Let's see here. Princess Jamie says, the 44 RE behind the 52 in your Grand Cherokee will need its bands adjusted and a pressure test prior to daily driving. If it sat for a period of time, the solenoids freeze. Thank you. I will take a look at that. And the governor box won't function properly.
It has some issues.
Texas says Springfield Armory makes a good 45 as well. It does, and I did have one of the last ones I got from them was the 45. And that thing is a beast. Thinking of getting a new screwdriver set to replace my cheap Stanleys. Thinking of Quinn or Doyle. Any opinions? I don't have the Quinn, and I actually don't have the Doyle. I've looked at them, and they look pretty decent. And I mean, if you're replacing Stanleys, I'm guessing this is for around the house home use. And the Quinn stuff is very much that middle of the road prosumer grade kind of stuff, and they seem great. Again, lifetime warranty, hard to go wrong with that. I've got a set that sent me Ingersoll Rand, and I've got the Ingersoll Rand. I've got the Harbor Freight knockoffs of the Snap-ons. I got some old Craftsman. I've got some old Snap-ons. What else do I have? Oh, and the Tecton. I've got the Tecton. And honestly, I say of all those, the ones I pick up on a daily basis are the Ingersoll Rand. I love using those screwdrivers, but they're not in the same price category. So I don't think you can go wrong with the Quinn. The Doyle ones, from what I've seen, they're more of the industrial use, like striking screwdrivers. I don't think they have an entire screwdriver set out, do they? I could be wrong.
Do you want the spine in your back?
What? No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It just make me. She's got the heating pad because knows I'm twinging more here.
Yep.
Murray says not in Springfield unless it's the civilian M14. You know, I just went and looked at the Hellcat though. If you're looking for a small, ultra deep carry, that's pretty nice. Princess Jamie says guns. I'm all in for sure, but I still yet to get a tattoo. Most gun shops in Texas are awesome. Yeah, I've got a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tattoos, and she's got more than I do. And D.R. Franklin says, too many people are keyboard cowboys on Facebook, say they know it all, but don't really know. Yeah, that is so true. And I can always tell when they do it, too, because they go off on something, and they'll, blah, 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 that thing is junk, never buy that. I'm like, dude, they just announced it. It isn't even in stores yet, so I know you haven't tried it.
Well, and also, a lot of times there'll be 3 people that will be repeating verbatim the same thing.
Over and over. Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so who did you listen to? Princess Janie with a $7.62 super chat. I love it. She says, here's support. CJ7 is mine till death. So love your hair, Mrs. Bear. Mine's almost that long. Ears and horns are totes cute. Jojo bows would be cute too. Yes. I have one, like pink Jojo Siwa, which Eleanor informed me that she's never going to wear.
She's in this anti-girly mode. Mm-hmm. Princess Jamie said totes cute, by the way.
Yep.
About mom's horns.
Yep, and my hair. And the Jojo Siwa bow would be great. So before I forget, $7.62. Princess Jamie. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much.
Oh, my chat just jumped on me.
That's because it's demented. Mwahaha.
Crazy says, do you like pizza? Pizza is life. Okay. If so, where do you get it from? Well, when I lived in Cincinnati, I got it from La Rosa's.
This is a limited number of hours show, so I'm just going to remind you. He really likes pizza.
For most pizzas, I prefer a deep dish Chicago style. If you're in the San Francisco area, Pachi's is the closest you're going to get. That's spelled Patxais. It's a Greek name. Don't go to Blue Star. It's terrible. Cornmeal crust on a Chicago style pizza? No, wrong. And if you're in Chicago, you got to go to Pizzeria Uno's. Also a big fan of Eduardo's. I don't know if they're still around, but they used to do a stuffed spinach pizza that was just amazing. If I'm going thin crust, I want a New York margarita style pizza. I want it to be super thin, huge chunks of cheese and tomatoes. Although I'll be honest, I like sun-dried tomatoes on those.
Is it Monday already?
Not yet.
Okay.
I thought that was fairly concise. For
it
frozen
for
pizza,
you.
Honestly, old school tombstone pepperoni reminds me of school pizza.
Oh my goodness.
The Fred Hill says, I love my Smith & Wesson broomsticks. I have 5 of them. There you go. I know some people like them. They just never really felt right for me. Di says, he's reminding Crazy. Yes. Let's see here.
Trolling for Dollars just said, deep dish is a pie, not a pizza. New York City pizza is the best.
You obviously never had Chicago style pizza. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this new Detroit style. That to me was always Sicilian. I don't know why they suddenly called it Detroit. Kyle asks, why did you choose the bear theme? It was a nickname for me when I was probably, I think it was like 8th grade. We were out in the woods with some friends playing airsoft, and and if you know how old I am, you realize what the airsoft reference is that they didn't have back then. And I came out from around it was at dusk. I came from around a tree behind a buddy of mine, and we were all wearing big jackets, padded jackets, and scared what out of him. And he was sure I was a bear. And from that moment on, the kind of nickname stuck. And then when my kids were born, I always called him my baby bear and whatnot. So it's just kind of a family thing. And then if you want something really personal, I grew up spending a lot of my time in the West, in the Arizona area, and there's the whole American Indian thing, and they had the little, what do you call those? The fetishes. You can have your particular animal fetish, little stone carvings. You don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
I don't. I think that it's called a totem.
No, that's a Northwestern Indian.
The fetish thing, I have
Native
not
American
used in that term.
Yeah. So she doesn't know much about culture. So anyway.
I'm just going to remind you that you're a bear. So culture references, all you like.
Well, I had 3 animal things that kind of like I picked up as a kid that kind of I felt were appropriate for me, and that was the hawk, the otter, and the bear. And so those were my 3 animal spirit kind of things. I know, getting kind of hokey pokey there. And let's see here. Farnsworth says, have you looked at kind chrome over in America, or is it just in Australia? I have not heard wait, somebody mentioned that before, I'm pretty sure. Let me look at something real quick.
I think it might have been the guy that we were watching that was overseas.
Somebody did mention that once before. I looked at their website and said it looked interesting. I've never seen it here. I don't know anything about it. Sorry. Woodworker Hobbyist says, looking to purchase a new table saw, what do you think of the DeWalt D745 or the DeWalt 7485 and skill saw worm drive? Boy, I need to do this video. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of the DeWalt. I don't really like the rack and pinion system on that. And I would think as a woodworker, most woodworkers I know like traditional T-square style fences. And the other thing is, those are both compact job site saws. And I'm not a fan of a compact job site saw for woodworking. Table saws are always of the rule is get the biggest and the best you can use. You want stability. You want a big table, nice even surface. You want as much stability, weight, and table and a good fence as you can get. The only reason there's 2 reasons to ever have a compact job site saw. A, you don't have any space for anything else. You're in a small confined area and you have to go with it. Or 2, you need ultra portability. What they're really for is they're for, trucking out to a job site, throwing down and ripping 2x4s all day long, or 2x6s or 2x8s. The bigger one, the only reason to go with the more expensive of those is because you want to rip sheet goods, which again, compact job site saws, not the best unit for that. But the 7480 can do that. The 745 cannot rip a whole sheet in half. Basically, I would say get the biggest saw that you can fit in your shop. Princess Jamie says, I do OMAD keto. It's hard, but possible, mostly in a management state now.
Yeah, well, you were doing really great. I know you lost, I can't remember exactly how much, but I remember you saying that basically you're sort of like just trying to stay right where you are, which to me, having done keto, I kind of can't imagine being at that point. Like, how do you work it all out? We'll talk later. I was going to say something because somebody new chimed in. I want to say Pork Chops RV said, hey guys, I'm new to your channel. Across you today watching your Harbor Freight video on floor jacks. I'm subscribed and looking forward to catching up with you guys. Great tandem show. Well, super glad to have you. Glad you found us.
Go chase Duncan down. I think he's doing something on the internet because we're losing connectivity here.
That might be me.
What are you doing?
Playing alto?
No, that's local.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Hopefully you're still getting good connectivity. And Bart asks, how are beef prices up in beef country? Roasts are $10 a pound down in Georgia now. When we were in Vegas, it was getting stupid expensive. I think it was getting close to $10 a pound. Here, they're not bad at all. Now, it depends if you're trying to get like the prepackaged stuff. That's... And we're getting in the stream. Great. Did he stop whatever he was doing?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we just got an error. Hopefully you're all still getting this. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, beef prices up here are back to near normal prices, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still more expensive than I like to pay, but I'm a super budget shopper. I'm the lady that looks at the stuff that like
You like
is
free.
reduced. I like free, but that doesn't happen. So yeah. You keep messing with my screen.
Yes.
I'm gonna bite you. So it's Pork Chops RV, and I think he was saying that he had done keto. Says you lost 40 pounds and reversed diabetes 2 on keto just now. Wow. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I salute you.
Boy Mom for Life says, your thoughts on cordless power cutters. You're going to have to be more specific. There's a whole lot of power cutters. Are you talking like the new the Warrior one from Harbor Freight they just came out with? Are you talking about like cordless shears? Are you talking about PEX cutters? What are we cutting here? There's copper cutters. There's all sorts of cordless cutters. Joshua, hey Josh.
Hey.
Excuse me. He says, hey there, Bear. What do you think about Milwaukee's sale at Home Depot? Do you think set up on the price? I'm a rigid fan, but I like Milwaukee. The M12 sale they have, I think it's still going on, is fantastic. The other sale is a decent price for the M18 stuff, but I think the M12 is one of the best sale prices. Where, adding in the free tool and that kind of stuff has been really good. Hiram says, sorry, Red Bear, but by my own admission, I have emotional and psych problems. I'm not qualified to be a mod. However, sooner or later, I should have better content.
Eleanor Liberty. You're not on the computer.
I'm probably not qualified to be a mod then based on those profiles or those specifics. Ed the old tech guy says, Princess Jamie, not a mod. Jeff, what do you think? She can be a mod? She's a mod. Isn't she a mod? Pretty sure she's a mod.
I think Princess
Look,
Jamie.
right there. Princess Jamie. Mod. Got a blue wrench and everything.
Is Roblox streaming?
Crazy says, how can I be a mod? Just show up a whole bunch and hang out and be part of the community, and eventually you'll get made a mod. Joshua says, are you planning to buy Cobalt tools? They look good, especially the hammer drill looks amazing. I think rigid hammer drills look cool. The light got me there. What do you think about Hilti? Hilti is fantastic if you've got money to spend. They're a great tool, but Hilti is focused on corporate level sales, and you're never going to get the whole price point behind Hilti is you never have to worry about it. If you ever have a problem, they just take it, they fix it, they give you a new one, whatever. Because most people are leasing the tool on a month-to-month basis because it's all large corporate accounts, and they're worried about it. They like it because they can incorporate service and the whole 9 yards, everything, and they can just outsource all of that to one company and have it be done. And because they don't own it, they get it write it off their books immediately as an expense. The accounting issue, this is kind of weird businessy kind of stuff, is when you buy something, you have to depreciate it over X amount of years. But if you lease something for, say, a 1 cent lease where you pay the whole thing up front, but it's technical lease, you don't own it, it's looked at like renting, and you can depreciate all that expense right now. Yes, I know, more than you wanted to know, but that's the whole reason Hilti exists. Hilti does not care about the individual buyer. They're there for the corporate buyer. Great tools, stupidly expensive, great service, but most people don't need that. Cobalt. I have Cobalt tools. I don't have the XTR tools. I think Cobalt is fabulous, and they're one of the brands I recommend for people looking for prosumer level tools. Toolhead says, do you know when they're going to have the Harbor Freight credit cards? Well, they've got them if you're in Southern California, and that's it. And as to when they're going to roll out to the rest of the country, I don't think Harbor Freight knows when that's going to be.
Chris says, y'all appear to have the same door problems we had in this home. I've only redesigned and removed 8 doors so far. Chris,
Yes.
we should talk. I'm interested in hearing more.
And we're buffering again. Eleanor?
She's
not on the
says
computer.
She's not on her computer. Duncan said he was going to be laying down. So it's not supposed to be him. I will go check in just a minute.
Sorry, guys and gals. Problem is, up here in Montana, we don't have the greatest, we're not in a large metropolitan area, so we don't have the greatest high-speed internet. We have what we have, and we try not to get upset about it. I'm surprised it lasted this long.
Matt says, he said something funny. He said, the bear is working on world domination. Give him a break. I think that's what you said. I can't see your message anymore, so that's not verbatim, but yeah.
See if our internet is back. Oh, it's working better.
So we're hoping that things are not so crazy for you guys, at least seeing us. Frank and Lee Speaking says, I gotta have Mama's horns. Where are they from? I believe that they are from Amazon. Daughter of Ra actually sent me an amazing gift package that had a bunch of these in it. So thank you again, Daughter of Ra. I love them, and I literally do wear them to the grocery store sometimes.
She does.
Especially right now. I mean, I would do it on a normal day. But with things the way they are, people are really stressed out, and they're really just wound too tight. And so if I can wear ears, Eleanor Liberty Light. If I can wear horns or ears or something funny that makes people laugh, especially with their masks on, it's a win. Good luck with that.
No soda in there. No soda in there. Hiram says, if CZ is the most ergonomic handheld firearm, do you have any opinion or input on the Miami Vice Bren 10 made famous by Don Johnson? I've never held the Bren, but my understanding is that it is a clone of the CZ style. For those of you who don't know, Glock is probably the most sold firearm in the world right now. But CZ, which was developed in Czechoslovakia, when it was developed, it was behind the Iron Curtain. And as such, they don't have patents. And it is probably the most cloned firearm. I mean, it's real neck and neck between that and the 1911 as to the most cloned firearm that's out there. And you will see tons and tons of firearms that are based off the CZ's design. And honestly, I think they're fabulous. The real benefit of it is that it rides, unlike the 1911, where the slide rides outside on the rails, it rides interior on the rails, and it has a locking bolt design, and it's one of the smoothest shooting design firearms that you can possibly get. And the CZs are some of the best ergonomics that you'll ever see. Trent says Smith & Wesson M&P line has the reliability of a Glock and some of the best ergonomics. They're not bad. They're better than a Glock. I will give you that they're better than a Glock. I'm a huge fan of, I would say best ergonomics is CZ. Best ergonomics and shootability in a polymer for me is FN. I love the FN series. I'm a big fan of Striker Fire, or not Striker Fire, sorry. Double action, single action, and the FN9s were just phenomenal. I switched to Striker Fire because as a carry gun, Striker Fire makes more sense, and it's what most people use in classes, and that's what I was teaching. So, Special Moose says, "Hey Bear, I'm getting tired of wood dust when cutting wood in my garage. I only have circ saws, none have dust ports. What would you recommend? Track saw or a circular with dust ports?" Dude, you cannot go wrong with a track saw. And I think most people who opt for like getting a table saw or something like that, a good track saw is amazing for cutting, has amazing dust collection, but there is no inexpensive version of a good track saw. As far as dust ports, basic circ saws, some of them have decent dust collection, but I've never seen any that really have good dust collection, except for maybe the really higher end Makitas and Fast Tools and stuff like that.
Princess Jamie is making a good point, and I'm just going to say everyone has homework this week.
If her point is I can't have her Jeep, then I disagree.
Princess Jamie, we know that he can't have your Jeep. It's okay. She's saying, Gramoot, I vote that you share your Hercules miter saw video on here. You did an A+ comprehensive review on it, and I want to say more than one person has said that this evening. So if you have not checked out Gramoot's channel, I would say go check it out.
Yes.
He has some great videos. So yeah. Anyways, carry on. That's your homework. And somebody was asking David Fry. Wife wants to know, what do you recommend for affordable car top carrier car rack? Does Harbor Freight carry one?
Harbor Freight does carry one. It's of the Safari box style. In fact, well, it's not that one. It's a clone of the one we did a video on. So if you've seen pictures of her Jeep or the video we did, it looks exactly the same. The one we got was a closeout at Walmart. Of course, it's gone now. I don't know. I would not say that I am super knowledgeable about car top carriers. The only one we have, is the cheap one. And then a lot of the other good ones I've seen are ones that people welded together themselves. So it's really, I've only seen like custom and like the super cheap stuff. The Harbor Freight one looks like it's made by the exact same people that made yours, which is decent, especially for the money. And I don't know if there's a coupon out on it, but if you can get it for under $50, then it's a good deal. The Have At It says, what's your take on the best lithium ion batteries for cordless? Well, okay. Again, and people hate this when I say it. Best is very subjective. Best for what? Best value, best battery, best. I would say all around best batteries are probably going to be Milwaukee. And that kind of would be hand in hand because they're the ones with the patent on it. They were close behind that would be Makita. Makita does some stuff that's really interesting, really smart, especially with their chargers. They have chargers that pull air through the battery, through the charger to cool the battery down, to reduce charging times and stuff, and extend the life of the battery. Best batteries for the buck, I think still really are the Herc line. You're getting top of the line Samsung cells in a great design. Who else has really good batteries?
Bauer.
No, the Bauer batteries are decent. The Rigid batteries. Rigid has some good tech in their batteries. They're the higher end Rigid octane kind of stuff, the high output stuff. They're really tapping in because they're made by TTI. Same people make Milwaukee, so they're tapping into that same tech. There's some good stuff. The lower end Rigid stuff is it's good. There's some bad ones. There's some good ones. The same with the Ryobi. Not a fan of really any of the Stanley Black & Decker stuff except for the FlexVolt system, which is a fabulous system.
Daniel Miller says, how long does it take for them to get to my comment? We go in order. So I do realize that we are behind. As long as you put at the Den of Tools, we will get to it.
Yeah.
So the other way is you can look through the comments and see where it is that we're reading, and know how far you are. So we will get there as soon as we can.
I'm trying to catch up right now. SMPD says CDR iCut. Dude, you've asked this before several times. Ed the Old Tech Guy says Pizza Uno. Eduardo's is still around. Great choice. Also, Baker's is a great home run pizza. Can't forget that one. Garrett says, has anyone tried the Bauer variable speed grinder yet? I have not. I use variable speed grinders and sanders for fabricating granite and always looking for new ones. I've heard good things about the grinders. I've not tried one. They're coming out with some really great corded grinders for the Hercules line. I can tell you that. Steven says, Den Tools wants to get to Saugatuck. Hell yeah. I love Saugatuck. South Haven, Grand Haven, all that. West coast of Michigan is fabulous in the summer. New Yorkers are so full of themselves, Frank says. Kyle says, can Hercules compare with other brands like Milwaukee? In the brush line, I've done direct comparisons, and brushed for brush, they do compete. They don't have a brushless option. People, and that's what I always love. I'll compare a brush tool to brush tool. People are like, well, that's so stupid. You should compare it against this brushless tool. I'm like, okay, the Hercules is like $100. That thing's $199, not including the battery, and you want to compare those two. That's just people who are, a little butthurt about stuff. Princess Jamie talking about a furry. Hey now. Blind Toolman says, do you spirit guide? Oh, there's another question.
I think that was all about the animals.
I know what it was, and I had an answer, but there's cubs about. Yeah, when I was younger, man. S&PD, dude, enough with the torque wrench. We've talked about it. Edgar says, I've been looking for the Delta table saw, but Lowe's does not have any in stock. Are they coming out with a new model? Yes. They came out with a new version, some slight tweaks, a little cost savings as far as like the body of it. They got rid of some of the sheet metal. It really doesn't affect it. It does kind of change the look, makes it look a little less quality. But I do know somebody who got one, and he says it's fabulous. So it looks like the new one's going to be just as good as the old one. The only problem is that you missed out on getting a good deal on the used one. Or not the used one, but the discontinued one. Daniel says, which Ryobi tool should I get, the 150 inverter or the 300 inverter? I've never tried their inverters. So I don't know. I mean, it looks cool that they have them. I don't currently have any Ryobi tools. I used to have some back about 3 or 4 years ago, and I gave them to some family members. So anyway, Michael says, I'm a budget homeowner looking for to buy a miter saw. What does Chicago Electric do the job for 2x4s and such? Or should I invest in the Hercules? No, don't get the Hercules. I mean, if you got $300 to spend and you really want a fabulous tool, that's up to you, but you don't need it for homeowner kind of stuff. I used the Chicago Electric 12-inch sliding miter saw 4 years over homeowner kind of stuff. Great saw. Here's the issue. Their quality control is a bit iffy. So buy it, take it home, try it, and then make sure it's square, everything lines up, do some test cuts, and if it doesn't, take it back and exchange it immediately. Then, and run it, cut some hardwoods with it, make sure it doesn't start smoking or anything. And if it's good, it's going to last. I am going to say this, though. It's not the deal it used to be, even when it's on sale, because it no longer comes with a blade. Once you add a 12-inch blade, you're talking $30 to $50 or even more, depending on how good a quality blade you get. And I always say get the best blade you can afford, because it's more about the blade than it is about anything else with that saw. And so the Admiral, I'm saying that right? It's from Harbor Freight. When it's on sale, it's like $170, $175 or so. It is a better saw, way better features, and it comes with a blade. So once you get the cheap, once you look at the Chicago Electric and you add the saw blade to it, you're within spitting distance of the Admiral. So if you can afford it, I would recommend stepping up to the Admiral. I don't think you have to step up to the Hercules, but I can't say enough what a great saw that is. Ed the Old Tech Guy says, we see and hear you fine. Well, that's too bad. I'm sorry for you.
Shush.
Chris says, y'all have the same, we talked about the door problem. Tom says, we've had a great comeback of red-tailed hawks, so much so that they've been trying to get my neighbor's King Charles Spaniel into our lab ran over. Quite the sight. Oh yeah. That's what small dogs are for.
Yeah.
Sock Knight, coming through just fine. Thank you, sir. Chachanaka, does the bears?
What?
Is that like how much wood could woodchuck could chuck wood?
I think it's like that, but I don't.
Michael says, what are the advantages of buying an expensive snap-on ratchet versus a Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight? Well, the number one advantage is you can go online and be a smug, in tool channels and talk about how you only buy snap-on. Other than that, the Pittsburgh one is not the best ratchet out there, but it's a decent ratchet and it should do the job. Here's the deal. If you don't beat on your tools, it shouldn't be a problem. If you're a professional and you got the tool truck coming all the time and you want to spend the money for the snap-on, that's fine. But don't tell me that, to be a real professional, you have to have that. I probably would not recommend the Pittsburgh ratchet for hardcore professional doing work, 60 hours a week. I would probably say, look at something like, the Tecton or the, Gear Wrench, or there's a dozen other ones out there that are of the what we call tool truck quality. They cost a third the price. SK makes some fabulous tools. Get an SK ratchet. It'll cost you half or less, and it'll last you a lifetime, and then some. Will Ryobi days get delayed? It's already gotten pushed back about a week. It may get pushed back more. I'm hearing the 11th right now, but that we got to wait and see what happens with all the news and the protests. Princess Jamie says, I just became a mod before you got to my comment. I don't know how that happened. You sure about that? David says, wife wants to know, what do you recommend? Oh, we talked about the car carriers. And let's see here. Oh, it was almost there.
That's good.
Are Harbor Freight worm drive circular saws any good? I'll be honest, I just found out a few months ago they had a worm drive saw. I saw it on a bottom shelf. I'm like, I didn't even know they had one. I do actually know. I know two people who have them. They say they like them. That's all I know about them. Are you going to put a Predator 670 on the go-kart? No, because I do love my children and I would like them to come back. Mike Adams says, hey, y'all, sorry I'm late. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Barbecue 76 says, yay, you're still on. Like always, I had to take care of stuff. What did I miss since my last message? Don't try to lie to me again and say it was all about me. We talked about how
Amazing your barbecue
pellet
looks.
popper grills were terrible and you should never buy one. Sooners Rock. Just got the Atlas lawnmower. Hey, here we go. Just got the Atlas lawnmower. It's really good. Very clever design with the dual batteries. Take just one for weed eating and stuff. I want a rototiller like Cobalt. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. First-hand information. Thank you so much for chiming in with that.
And he chimed in before you just read that.
Did he?
Yeah, well, because we're behind.
Oh, yes. Barbecue 76 says, Daniel, 7:40. As I type this, what time they read it will be determined. 7:40?
It's 8:47 here. But it's because of the time change. So 7 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. I was like, I'm that far behind?
You are, honey. It's actually Monday.
Matthew said, I found a cheap way to true up my saws. I use drafting squares. They're less than $10 at Hobby Lobby. Oh, that's a smart idea. And Sean says, how do you get the coupon to show on the Harbor Freight website? It's a plug-in from Harbor Freight coupon database. Go to their website. It's on. There's a link. I know it's kind of hard to find stuff on their page, but there's a link right on the front page there. Steven says, I saw someone the other day loading an Admiral sliding saw in the back seat of a Mercedes. That was when we were messaging about Ricky and the bear. That was a great picture about the bear. They sent me a picture of their kid standing in front of a stuffed bear. It was adorable. What are your favorite horror movies? Oh, that's a good question. You know what? Here's what I tell the kids. As you get older and you've been through so much in life, I don't need horror movies. I've lived through enough stuff that honestly, it's not fun for me to watch a horror movie. I'm not scared by them and they're no longer thrilling and they don't do much for me. There are a few suspense movies kind of stuff that like if I want to go back, I'll watch now I have a thing for like ancient religion and folk tales and stuff like that. So Serpent and the Rainbow is a movie I'll watch like once a year. I also like is it The Seventh Sign?
What about Crawl?
No, Crawl was
mine.
That was ridiculous.
Mine was Night of the Creeps. It's really bad. I've been known for having really bad movie tastes, but it's from 1986.
I like religious thriller kind of stuff. That's the stuff that really gets me like, on the edge of my seat kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't watch a lot of horror. As I like to say, I'm the thing that's scary in the night.
That's true, people. That's true.
Yeah. As people like to say, the locks on my door aren't to keep you out.
That's right, Griffey.
Stanton says, thanks for the Facebook group page. I was able to score the Cobalt 189-piece set for $62. See, people? That's what we're talking about.
And I would say a good half of them we know about, but there's usually, sorry, baby. There's ones every day where I'm like, honey, or like he'll say, hey, have you seen blah, blah, blah. So there are plenty that are out there that we haven't seen. And so it's a really great way. I know that people have thanked each other. Obviously, it's a great place to be able to view all of it. But, somebody in Florida can give a heads up to a guy that is in California that has one in their location. There are lots of people that are like, man, mine doesn't have anything. But I've found that most of the people that say that, eventually they find one. Climbing off my soapbox.
Jay asks, any car jump batteries that you recommend? I won't say there's any that I come out and specifically recommend. I will say this. Project Farm, if you haven't seen their YouTube channel, they did a comprehensive review on car start batteries. You really got to go check them out. I do know some people who, Toolhead, who's another YouTuber tool channel, he has the Harbor Freight one. He's used it to start an 8-cylinder with. He likes it a lot. But definitely go out, check out Project Farm for their review on those. Kermute says, I got a diesel mechanic that uses Pittsburgh ratchets and torque wrenches every day at my place. The ratchets. I was going to say the sockets. I know people use I know a lot of pros who use the sockets.
Joe Schmo said, who's the boy in the background? Is he okay?
No, he's not. He's my son.
There would be our sons.
And he's touched.
Yep.
Talking about the smaller one or the bigger one?
Yeah, they're both our sons, but we have a big son and a little son. And then Solstice Manshire said, if you captured a child, what would you name him or them?
Steve.
Football.
Griffin's voting for football.
Have you heard or anything about the Harbor Freight electric scissors? I've heard good things. What's his name? Chris over at... I'm just blanking on the name of his channel. Client Graphics just did a review on it, and it looks like they're pretty cool. I actually want to get a set. Zaffio says, I'm a fan of Glocks and Pittsburgh Pro ratchets, especially with the $5 off coupons. And Mike says, for the person you advise on the Admiral saw, I have one and it's excellent, although I would advise buying a Hercules blade when you can. Supplied blade is good. Herc blade is better. Yeah. It's always going to be get the best blade you can afford. Justin says, I see your lead foot. Your daughter has a lead foot driving the go-kart. It was hilarious. Yes, a lot of people commented that she was definitely the one to go a little crazy with the speed.
She will be.
I wonder where she gets that.
Our late night police call for sure. So I'm starting a bail fund now where I put like $5 a week, and then
Oh, I'm just gonna put one of those ankle bracelet tracker things on her.
A low jack.
Yes. Princess Jamie says Capri and Tecton ratchets would be a good fit. Not everyone needs tool truck or even to be a pro. Justin Dow is a pro, and he doesn't use tool truck tools exclusively for work.
Yep.
I know lots of guys. Besides the people I talk to on here, I go out and I talk to people all the time. I'll just pull up to a shop I'm passing by if I see people taking time and just kind of quiz them real quick. I know it's an embarrassing thing for some people to sit in the car while I do, but the more data I can get, the more I can help you guys. And I know literally at this point, hundreds, if not probably in the thousands of professional mechanics. And I would say the vast majority of them do not use Snap-on tools, even as the majority of their tools. Frank says The Omen. The Omen is a fabulous movie. And even better than The Omen is Good Omens, if you haven't seen that or read it. Better yet, read it. Groovejet says, really try watching the human centipede. Stuff like this should not be allowed to be. That's not horror. That's just shock value kind of stuff. Princess Jamie says, I give all tools a fair handshake. When I worked in the diesel industry, I used all tools, especially Sears Craftsman. I have tool truck tools as well because they've service in my area.
Yep. I don't know if they did an at the den of tools with their comment, but somebody else said that they have some Snap-on that they got at a pawn shop.
Yes.
So, yep.
Steve says, named Steve just after me, like you did the deer head. You know what it is there's a movie out called The Tao of Steve you have to watch. And it's just kind of, and I watched that and it kind of became like this default name for me for any guy kind of thing out there. It's always the Steve. Groove just says big son, little son. That sounds weird. You have two sons. We do have two sons.
We have two sons.
Two sons and two daughters.
Yep.
One daughter.
Has 4 legs. One daughter has 2 legs.
One is a Labrador. One is a human. Michael, no bell, Clarice. You know what? I just want to ding this bell anyways, but whatever. Whatever, no bell. $2 super chat. Michael, you and I, we're going to have words one day. It says no bell.
Oh, no bell.
Yes, I'm following directions. What are you doing?
Reading comments.
Apparently on.
Pork Chop Server says, I'm a retired adult probation officer. Those things work.
So that means you were a probation officer for adults.
Yes.
I'm slow. Okay, thanks.
It's the horns.
Yep.
Stanton says, love Serpent and the Rainbow. Saw it on Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs. That's a great movie. And the best part is it's based loosely on some true stories. It's kind of an amalgamation of some true stories.
Triple.
Griffin just did a triple on Alto.
It's a video game on the TV. It's a fun little game. Solstice asks, do you have any advice on finding love? You two seem very happy and are very interesting on finding out what it feels like to fill the void. I will tell you this. Don't give up. I've been through several relationships that crashed and burned. I know you have as well. And there's somebody out there for everybody. And just remember that the sun comes up tomorrow, and just try to be the best person you can be. Always try to make yourself better, and try to be open and honest with somebody, and eventually you'll find someone.
And I think people, granted this is not a relationship channel, but I think people a lot of times when they see someone that they think is their ideal, my first thought I'm thinking about right now is people trying to buy cars.
Interesting comparison.
When people go to the car lot, they have this idea that they want this car. And then they get there and they sit in the car and it's really uncomfortable and not the right fit for them. But they have this idea before they get to the car dealership that that's the car that they want.
Oh, let me take that a step further. So my biological father was a car salesman for years, and I thought, well, maybe it's in the DNA. I'll try it. It's not in the DNA. I know a lot about cars. I'm not great at selling cars. And the real reason is because I have morals. And there's one couple comes onto the lot, young couple, early 20s, 3 kids, one's an infant. Clearly, they're working, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're asking about what's the best family vehicle that they can get. And I try to put them into a nice little family vehicle, even maybe a minivan. I show them all these different ones. And the dude sees a Mustang. He's like, no, that's the car that we need. And I'm like, yes, you need the most expensive car on the lot that is terrible for children. And you'll probably default on the payments. And unfortunately, that's what I see with relationships, are people have this idea of, I want somebody who looks like this, acts like this, does all this. And really what you want is somebody who will support you and be a friend and be a partner and be all the things that you need. And, the other thing is sometimes people look for somebody who's just like them, whereas, I definitely believe in the whole opposites track. We're very much not alike in so many different ways, but we share a lot of the same values. And I think that's really what's important, is having that common baseline for values.
Yeah. And you and I disagree on tons of stuff.
And it also helps that I'm usually almost always 100%
Lord
right.
have mercy. It helps that I have grace and just allow him to be crazy.
So much grace.
But the other thing is, people have this idea that there's going to be Mr. Wonderful or Mrs. Wonderful and they're going to be perfect. No one's perfect. You're not perfect. I screw up 52 times a day. Hopefully not in a row, because that's kind of annoying. So just be true to yourself, invest in yourself, and be open to finding somebody or meeting someone. But they're not necessarily going to fit some cookie cutter PC plastic version of not real. And you probably will meet them doing something you enjoy. But don't try to,
Hopefully.
like go find a walking group or something you enjoy and go do it with other people. And even if you don't find the love of your life, you might find a great friend who in turn will introduce you to the love of your life. Anyways, give everybody grace. Amen.
Yep. Matt says the Tao of Steve is an awesome movie. It is. It's a fun movie. Dude says Ohio Power Tool is taking $20 off Bosch tools over $100 plus free shipping. Might be time to grab a few. I've been putting off buying. Have a great night. Had to drop in late. Thank you, sir, for the heads up on that.
Thank you so much.
Forrest John says, I have a question for you. I just bought the Bauer Impact and the drill driver from Harbor Freight. I've told that these are not good tools and was told to get DeWalt. Yeah, well, so I've tested all these tools, and I would put the baseline brushed DeWalts right up with the baseline Bowers any day, the brushed Bowers any day of the week, because I don't think that highly of the DeWalts. In fact, somebody we know here, because I did a review. If you've seen the review where I reviewed the brushed DeWalt versus the Hercules, I made the comment that it felt like I could snap it in half. Guess what? A buddy of ours accidentally did just that, trying to tighten the chuck. Sent me a picture of it. He's like, you were right. I did it. And no, people who say stuff like that, like those are terrible tools, go buy the DeWalt. I would bet $100 they've never tried the Bauer. Now, if you're a professional using it day in and day out, you might want to take into consideration buying something a bit more robust, or sticking with the Bauer and investing in the 2-year replacement program and just keep rolling that forward, and always knowing that no matter what, if the tool breaks, you go in, you slap it on the table, they give you a new one, 5 minutes later, you're out the door. That, to me, if you are a professional and your time is money, well, how much time do you have to send a drill away, which is one of your major tools, and wait for it to get repaired? That you're not making money when that drill's, at the repair shop. And it just always blows me away when people are like, time is money.
It is getting to be that time, and we are slightly behind.
It
again.
is. I'm trying to catch up.
Matt, yes, I get the prize for Nobel tonight.
The Nobel Prize. Mm-hmm. MGLRN says, I just want to thank you for your videos. I've been at home and the hospital with COVID, and your videos make the day better. I am sorry to hear that. I'm glad we can help out just a little bit. I hope you have a speedy recovery and you're back on your feet soon. Steven says, I watched Serpent in the Rainbow because it was the influence to the song Voodoo by the rock band Godsmack. I don't know. I have to listen to that. Mike says, if it doesn't get you in trouble with the powers that be, what's your opinion on the Makarov PA-63? I inherited one of my father and I haven't shot it yet. And I would recommend not shooting it and just keeping it as
a memento
thing that your father gave you.
Yep. We're having streaming issues again.
Groovejit says, I have 2 sons. One son, his head spins around. The other son walks on 4 limbs. Questions, are they normal?
Yep.
They're normal for
They're
you.
Totally normal.
Princess Jamie says, the only dates that were successful for me were with my tools, Jeeps, and other people's vehicles. But I'm okay with that. As long as you're happy, that's what matters.
That's the thing.
Although your Jeep did say that he needs some space.
I'm not sure that her Jeep is a boy.
She needs some space. It doesn't matter. It's a Jeep, wants space. Wants to come live with me. The Mike says, from my father, not for my father. Sorry, my thumbs. Oh, we got that.
Yeah.
Michael says, I was just looking at cars and cameras on YouTube for working on go-karts. I have seen their channel. They do have some crazy stuff on there. Garrett says, I have the Harbor Freight worm drive. It's got a strong motor, but the foot or fence doesn't keep the saw level. The rivets are weak points, but I've had the Harbor Freight Outlast a rigid. There's some good, that's some solid info. Thank you, Garrett. The Matt says, need some advice. Our front porch is 20 feet wide, getting some rot in the front of it. Notice some of the footings are rough. What do you think this would cost to fix? Ballpark. The whole fence or the whole porch? It's going to cost you several $1,000s. Best bet is to fix the rotted pieces, get some good pressure treated kind of stuff, and go from there. We're dealing with that thing right now. We just tore out a whole 25-foot long walkway.
I had to read that twice. I'm like, is he talking about ours? Because how does he know?
And it's hard for me to say what the cost is going to be because I don't know what the price of wood is in your area. I don't know what kind of footings you're going to need cement-wise. You can do whole posts. And I also don't know if you're going to go with a wood-like product. Cray says, if you had to choose one for the rest of your life, would it be steak or your favorite pizza?
It would be pizza all day long for him.
Pizza.
I don't know, man. A good steak. I think it might be steak.
Okay.
Wow.
It might be steak, but it would be a tough choice. Oh
my gosh.
Trolling for dollars, bathroom light.
Thank you. I saw that and was like, what does that mean?
David Fries, folks, don't forget to hit the like button. Andrew says, I'm not saying Harbor Freight power tools are not good tools. Only reason I'm not impressed with how much they cost when you start to buy everything in pieces, unlike a DeWalt as a kit. That is true. And I've said, if people have heard me say it, I think Harbor Freight needs to get better on the pricing. Crazy says, I'm leaving y'all. Thanks for the good content. Thank you, sir. And what?
Ed the Old Tech Guy said, hey, everybody, it's Ed the Old Tech Guy. If you're a fan of the bear, just like me, well, shop at the fan shop. Shop where the fans shop. Get your latest bear gear right here. And included the den of tools with the shop information.
Oh, where you can get excellent apparel just like the bear sweatshirt. There's a big...
Are you trying to steal my sweatshirt?
Stand up and show in the back.
Oh, yeah.
You have to move all your floof out of the way.
Show them your mother, your muscle.
There's the back. Ed Den of Tools at the back.
Okay, I'm not...
There.
It would look
couldn't,
better if it was
couldn't help myself.
my size.
There was a bug there.
Yeah, I'm sure. You saved... Okay, I'm rolling away. Rolling away.
Anyway, that's it for this evening. It's past 9 o'clock. We're out of here. But before you guys leave, remember, don't forget to adopt a mod on your way out. Go and check out one of them. That's anyone with the Cobalt Blue wrench, including Joe Smith and Friends, and all the way, who's our first mod, all the way up to Princess Jamie, our last mod, our latest mod, and all the mods in between. Go and check them out. Thank you, everyone. Especially the folks who, with the little bear behind their name, they're the members. It's like Patreon. They support us each and every month. You guys and gals are fantastic. And also everyone who supported us with super chats. And all of you who just showed up, hit the like button. We got 189 current views with 207 likes. Not a bad evening. I appreciate, spending every Sunday here with you folks. Also, if you feel like getting more content just like this, but a broader range of stuff, join us. We're going to be back at the Bear's Den. That's the name of the channel. It's a separate channel from this. And we do a morning show for an hour every morning from 9:30 Eastern to 10:30 Eastern time. We talk about the stock market, business news, weather, just kind of morning talk show kind of thing. Just fun stuff.
Traffic.
Anyway, hope to see you there tomorrow. Until next time, you all take care. God bless. And as always,
shine on.
Shine on. Faked you out, didn't I?
You did.
No, sorry about that.